Throwing middle, caught inside the 5. Jahmyr Gibbs to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. 14 yards on the strike. Goff to Gibbs. You can't cover that man one-on-one. You just can't do it.
Nice job.
Jared takes the snap, back looking, throwing middle. Got Amon-Ra inside the 2, to the 1, to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Amon-Ra, St. Brown.
Nice job.
Mariota's got it back. Pressure comes. He's hit. Slips out of it. Rolling to his right. Now he's going down. Brian Branch got him. Sack for the Lions. Snap taken by Mariota. Wants to throw it. Gonna get hit. Gonna get sacked.
Yes,
Taken down. Brian Branch got him second time today.
Nice job.
Hands it to Gibbs, running right, runs through a tackle, gets down to the 10, Gibbs to the 5, still fighting, down to the 2, down to the 1, to the end zone! Yes. Touchdown, Detroit Lions! He did not quit!
Nice job.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again!
All right, good morning. It is Tuesday in the trenches with the Detroit Lions and the Rise and Grind morning show. We're going to be talking a little bit about the NFL news and rumors heading around the Monday night game, the rigged NFL. It's not stopping. I don't even think they're trying to hide it anymore. What the NFL has done, some of the games that went down this past weekend, I don't know how you could not admit the fact that there's something funny going on, and it's not just the Lions anymore, where a lot of us have had the idea that the refs are cooking the books and it always involves the Lions. Well, there's some other teams that they're cooking the books for. And my question is, when is the FBI going to kick down the door and wave the 4-4 on Roger Goodell? Because it's got to happen soon. Something's going on. We're going to try to uncover that a little bit. We'll do a quick recap of last night's game. We'll get into the Detroit Lions news and rumors in the trenches today on the Rise and Grind morning show. Be back here in 17 seconds with Eric Wintemaki.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again!
All right, then there was two, man. What's happening? Good morning.
Hey, what a great week. Lots to talk about. Lions have 10 days off to try to get healthy. Great win last Thursday. Only one bad spot, and that was Brian Branch. Other than that, we got out of the game pretty darn healthy. And lots to talk about today, man.
I didn't get out of it healthy. I didn't, man. I got the old cane working over here. I threw the injections yesterday. Feel like crap. Barely walk. But nowhere near the type of an injury that Brian Branch is dealing with right now. Huge hit to the Detroit Lions losing Brian Branch. He was the last man standing in that room as far as safety is concerned. But I'm going to put a little calm over the storm when we get to that. It's bad. Yes, it's bad. It's bad for the Lions, but I'm going to try to put a little calm into that storm if I can. What I'd like to get to though, last night, Eric, Monday Night Football, you watched the majority of it. I was watching Christmas movies. Or tried to anyway. What happened last night?
So the LA Chargers defeated the Philadelphia Eagles last night. And they did it in surprising fashion. So the quarterback for the Chargers, Justin Herbert, has a broken left hand. And so he had to do everything with his good hand, his right hand. And in the first half of this game, there were 6, count them, yes, 6 turnovers in this game.
It's crazy.
And overall, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts had 4 interceptions. He threw the ball 40 times with 21 completions for 52% completion rate. Absolutely horrible for 240 yards. With a QBR of 36.25. Absolutely horrible. These are like Caleb Williams or JJ McCarthy type numbers. So he did something last night, and Jalen Hurts set a record last night to be the first NFL player ever to fumble the ball not once, but 2 times on the same play. So he fumbled the ball right about midfield. It was picked up by a defensive player. He fumbled the ball. Jalen Hurts got the ball back, went back about 4 yards, tried to run with the ball again. He got tackled and fumbled the ball twice. So he is the only player in NFL history to ever fumble a ball twice and get credited with 2 fumbles on 1 play. So pretty amazing. I was playing Jalen Hurts in fantasy football last night, and it did not go so well for the other team.
I can imagine. So, you know what we did witness though last night? So I did catch this play, the fake tush push.
Oh,
they did a fake tush push touchdown, and I think the Eagles are now trying to do whatever they can. I just saw someone in the chat said the Eagles have not looked the same since the Lions. I got to back you up one game. They have not looked the same since the Packers.
Yeah.
Right. That first game before the Lions. And I've been saying this for several weeks now, that the Eagles are just not a great team. And they haven't been a great team this year. Yeah, they did okay in the beginning of the season, but they have not been a good team the last several weeks. So when you see teams beat them, I'm not impressed. I'm not that impressed. I mean, I'm still upset that we didn't win, but the wind was a major factor in that game for both teams. It was whoever's going to be able to run the ball a little bit better than the other team in that game was going to win. We just couldn't find a way. That defense was giving us some fits, but I am not impressed by the Eagles. So any wins on anybody's record is meaningless to me. I'm beginning to wonder if the Eagles are even going to make it into the playoffs.
Well, they're 8-5 right now. The Cowboys are right behind them.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're like 6-6 or something, right?
Yeah, 6-6-1. And listen, Jalen Hurts he is not playing well at all this year. And this Eagles team reminds me of a couple years ago when they started out 10-1 and then they collapsed. They did not win another game the rest of the season. They did make the playoffs, but they lost to Tampa Bay in the first round of the playoffs very handedly. So this really reminds me of that team where they got out to the really hot start and then they just crumbled the rest of the year. It would not surprise me to see the Dallas Cowboys win that division. It absolutely would not surprise me one bit.
That'd be a big turn of events, but I'm right there with you. I mean, they have an opportunity at least to pull it off.
And it'll be horrible if they get to 9-8, let's say. They win one more game and they end up pulling out the division, and there's a 9-8 team that hosts a playoff game while there's an 11-6 team that doesn't make the playoffs. That will be a travesty.
Well, remember, that's exactly what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions were trying to allow, or prevent, is that, teams that are winning should be able to host these games with the better record, but that's just, it didn't pass. Maybe they'll revisit it again this year. If you have a team that has a lower record that is hosting playoff games, maybe it should be overall record in the conference. If the 4 best records should host playoff games, how would you feel about a division winner then? Not hosting a playoff game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, that could even happen, could it? How could that happen?
Well, see, that's the whole thing, because last year the Vikings went 14-3.
No, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. It would be,
they had to go on the road to play the Rams, and the Rams were only 10-7 last year?
Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it would be, I just said it wrong. You could have a team in another division have a better record than a division winner, and they wouldn't be hosting the playoff game.
Yeah.
You couldn't have a team that had the best record in the division not host a playoff game, because that's the whole key to the thing. That's how it works.
And, in my personal opinion, I think it would have been a better game had LA went to the Vikings. Just because it would have been in their house. So it would have been, to me, that little bit of crowd, the 3-point swing for the crowd. I really do think that's a real thing, but LA came out and absolutely crushed the Vikings. So I don't think it would have made a difference in the end.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Stafford, man.
Holy,
we got Stafford coming.
Yeah, he's my quarterback of my fantasy team, and he has been lighting it up.
He looks different this year.
Yeah. And, in the beginning of the year, we didn't even think he was going to be able to play because of his back issue. He had the pod at training camp with the trailer where he would go out and sit in the pod after practice and before practice and try to get his back right. Remember, we didn't even think he was going to be able to play.
Yeah, no, I got to check audio real quick. But no, I didn't think he was going to be able to play either. Has he been drug tested this year? Do you know?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe we need to suggest that the week before. Yes, something needs to happen.
Yeah, something needs to happen. All right, next up, let's talk about the touchdown that was likely. The touchdown that was likely right back in 17 seconds. We're going to get into the NFL is rigged.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again.
Okay, so I've had my temper tantrums about the NFL, the referees, the whole storyline of the NFL being rigged. There's another channel that I just came across a few weeks ago. Some single dude does a really great job, really fast, like 5 minutes. He's in, he's out. I can't remember the name of the channel right now, but he's been on the NFL is rigged for a while. And like I said, there's going to be a new channel popping up when I actually get the time. I've already secured the name. Just talking about the NFL conspiracies and what's been happening. And quite honestly, here's my statement. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're not. They are not hiding the fact something is going on. My question is, when is that door going to get kicked open by the FBI? And when will the government, which I'm not a big proponent of the government overreaching, but they would have to create a special, some sort of a special system. I'm at a loss for words this morning. It's almost like having a special counsel. They would have to have something put together to be able to investigate and kind of coordinate their efforts within the NFL to be able to see what the NFL is doing. Again, I'm at a loss for words. I'll have to give that back to Mike Florio when I bring him in maybe tomorrow, because he said something very specific about it, and right now my brain's not working. We'll blame it on the steroids, man. They're running through my brain right now, I guess. So NFL rigged. Eric, the touchdown that was likely, man. Isaiah Likely, 2 steps, full position. You could even say 3 steps in full possession, no wobble. And then the ball comes out right after that 3rd step. He's halfway through the end zone. All I have to say is Calvin Johnson again, right? Mm-hmm. Calvin Johnson makes that catch, very similar, has possession, throws it to the ground, and the play's called back. It was like the Calvin Johnson rule that was invented, I don't know, was that 15 years ago now?
Yeah.
And so this one, I don't know how you can say that this was not a touchdown, because how many times do you see a wide receiver catch the ball and just toe drag swag his way out of bounds, right? Toe drag swag his way out of bounds, goes out of bounds, and then tosses the football or loses the football, but it was a touchdown. Or a running back or a quarterback is running to the end zone, dives over the pylon, out of bounds, loses the football. It's still a touchdown. How can that be a touchdown if Isaiah Likely's catch was not a touchdown? Complete BS. And that was just one instance of the NFL this weekend, in my opinion, working for Vegas. I think that there's a bigger issue at hand here. I think if the mob is truly involved in this, allegedly, they're showing their muscle right now. They're saying, you know what? We don't care. We don't care what you think. You can't stop us. Prove it. We don't care what you do. But you know what you're going to do is you're going to make sure those points align with Vegas. And that's what's going on.
Yeah, it's pretty blatant. And, they put out the pool report after this game, and it explains absolutely nothing.
Of course.
So I was listening to, I think it was Mike Florio yesterday, and it was a very intelligent conversation about the likely touchdown and a couple of other things. And his statement was this: how can the NFL expect to have international games? And when you're having international games, you are bringing a brand new sport to a whole nother country with millions of new fans.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to teach football, American football, to all these millions of new fans, correct? So you have to teach them what is a touchdown and what is not a touchdown. So when you have Americans watching American football in the NFL and millions of people that for 60 years have known what a touchdown is and what a touchdown isn't, when they don't know what a touchdown is, how are you going to bring the NFL to Europe and to other countries around the world and show them what American football is when your people don't even know what a touchdown is? The refs don't know what a touchdown is. New York doesn't know what a touchdown is. The casual fan doesn't know what a touchdown is. The players don't know what a touchdown is. And the coaches don't know what a touchdown is. I don't know what a touchdown is. You don't know what a touchdown is. So if none of us know what a touchdown is, how are we supposed to bring this product to someone else that's never seen this product before and be able to explain to them what a touchdown is?
I think it's deeper than that, though. And that's a great statement, but how are they going to build trust in the fan base that this game is legit? That, to me, is the more important thing for the NFL, is building trust within the fan base. Because if your fans can't trust that what they're paying all of this money to go watch, I mean, for some families, I mean, mine not excluded, yours not excluded, we pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to go watch football games every year. I mean, to think for just one couple to go watch 8 home games is going to cost you anywhere from probably $4,000 to $8,000 in a season just to go to the home games, even if you live within the same state, between travel, food, maybe a hotel, your tickets. If you don't have season tickets, it's more expensive, but that's season ticket prices.
Yeah.
You know,
my 2 season tickets is over $4,000.
Exactly. And so you've got at least $4,000 just into 2 seats as a season ticket holder, double it if you're not, and then add another, $200, $300, $400 per game just in travel and food. And if you're a drinker, it's going to go way up. I had lunch at Ford Field the other day because I needed to eat. I didn't really eat the whole day. And $49 to get a burger and fries and a vanilla milkshake. $49. The milkshake was this big, right? The fries, there's a good amount of fries in there. Burger was this big. My microphone foam is bigger than the damn burger.
Did you go to the LLM store? Or?
No. Just right across from 105. There is the Bunkhouse or Bunkside or something burgers. I don't know.
Yeah.
A decent burger. I actually ended up with the chicken, but it's still the same damn price. $49 for one person to eat. So there you go. 2 people to go have a burger, fries, and a milkshake. $100. Because I always tip 15%. I don't know why, because the freaking workers don't get it. I don't even know why I tip. Probably should stop. But anyway, before I forget, I have a quick reminder. So I lost every time I go to the game, I always spend like $20 to $100 on the Game on Cancer raffle, because it goes to a good, this is just what this is what Rockhound Cancer Foundation, we always buy tickets to help. And if we win, we obviously would split it 50-50. We would give, some back and then some go to the Rockhound Cancer Foundation. But anyway, I lost my ticket and I was freaking out because nobody claimed the ticket for like 2 or 3 days. And so I'm like, I lost my ticket. I don't know how I lost my ticket because it's always in my fifth pocket. I never get into it. How did I lose it? Right. So I emailed the Lions. I'm telling you this because don't lose your ticket. You would think, and they've reprinted tickets for me before when the ticket machine ran out of paper, they would then reprint the entire batch. They can't track your ticket with your card. And I think it's complete bullshit. If I paid with a credit card, you know exactly what transaction that was, and you should be able to hit reprint on your machines and reprint another ticket. But they can't. So when I got the email back that said, yeah, you need your ticket because it has to go with, the information for the lottery, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, that's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. There's no way they can't track it. How would you even know I didn't pick up that ticket off the floor then? How would you know? There has to be a way they verify it. So I'm saying this because make sure you don't lose your ticket. Anyway, it's expensive. It's expensive to go. And if we're going to, like you said, if we're promoting this game, if the NFL's promoting this game overseas, which they have been for years now, I think trust is the most important factor in all of it. I'm looking at the play right now. He gets the ball, 2 hands. He comes down, 1, 2. He's fully in the end zone. Remember, you just got to cross the damn end zone with control. That's it. He caught the ball in the end zone, so now you have to complete what's called the process of the catch. Okay, and I do have the pool report as well. But what is the NFL process of the catch rule? I forgot to pull that up. Here it is. It requires the player to secure control of the ball. Done. Get 2 feet or another body part down in bounds. Done. Okay, he was in the air. All he had to do was touch 2 feet down. That's all he had to do. And then perform a football move like taking another step or extending the ball or avoiding a tackle before the ball hits the ground.
Well, he was extending it.
Catch, extend. 1 foot was down right when he caught the ball, or right in the same motion. Here, I'll go to my video. Catch, foot down, second foot down, third foot almost down, like within a nanosecond, and then the ball comes out. So he had 2 feet, he had possession, he made a football move. If you toe drag swag your way out of bounds and you lose the ball, that's a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Make it make sense. You can't.
It doesn't. So let's say I take my imaginary grandson. He's 12 years old to a game, and that happens. And I've been watching football for 50 years. I played football, and then I tell my grandson, "Oh, that was a touchdown." And then they take it away, and he's like, "Why wasn't that a touchdown, Grandpa?" I'm like, "I don't know." You have no explanation for it.
It's crazy.
Vegas, I guess. The NFL is rigged. It's WWE. Sorry, kid. Football's not real.
It's beginning to be that way, and it's almost like, and I hate to throw this out, put on your tinfoil hats, everybody. Yeah. It's almost like the UFO disclosure that's been going on now for like the last 7 years or so. They're slowly bringing stuff to the forefront within the government and having these sessions with naval officers and everything else, and they're classifying or declassifying all of these videos and everything out. And you're beginning to find out. Like, I just watched Age of Disclosure the other day.
So did I. It was very good.
Yeah, I told you it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And there's another one called Battle for Disclosure that you probably could have watched and got the same information. That one was free.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
So a lot of same information.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, right? Where they're telling you it's real. You have Senate leaders telling you it's legit. You have Army, Navy. I mean, everyone all these high commanders telling you it's legit.
And they're having all these meetings in front of the Senate, in front of all of your senators and representatives. And there's no coverage on C-SPAN or ESP or, all the big Fox and all the other stuff. There's nothing, not a mention.
Yeah, at Justin Bobby, it's not politics. Literally talking about about aliens, buddy. So yeah, definitely not politics. Just letting you know that that's how they're doing it. So you've got the age of disclosure, and I think right now you have the NFL disclosure. That's going to be the title of my video today. NFL disclosure.
You need to put an NFL logo on a UFO.
Yep. That's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. So NFL disclosure, man, they're slowly leaking it to finally tell you, hey, it's been this way the whole time. It's been this way the whole time.
Could you imagine?
If and when it finally comes out, man, there's gonna be tons of lawsuits. Let's just put it that way. There'll be so many lawsuits. It'll be insane. There'll be a class action lawsuit, but I guarantee you, somewhere, somehow, there's gonna be some way that they've classified the NFL like they already have as an entertainment business, that those lawsuits will all get thrown out. But I'll be the first one to file to say, you know what? I think we need all of my money back from all of the bets. I need all of my money back from all of my season tickets. And I wouldn't be the first one, though. I guarantee there'd be millions of people pissed off. Yeah. But what do you do? What do you do? Are they too big to fail?
Yeah. And that's like, I took my wife to a few games now, and I think this was a discussion with her that we had. And she was like, well, I've heard that the NFL is fake and this isn't real. And I said, well, I played football, and I can tell you this right now. When you throw a football through the air, there is no way to fake whether a guy catches the ball or not. And there's no way to fake, when that ball hits the ground on a fumble, etc. It bounces where it wants to bounce. It doesn't just automatically bounce to the team you want it to bounce to. So there's no way to fake that stuff. And that's always been my position, is if you played football, there's no way to fake this stuff. But there is ways that the refs can affect the game. And I think that is what we're talking about here today. When a touchdown's a touchdown and they take it away, when you have a billion people watching your product, and all but maybe 100,000 of them think that that's a touchdown, that's a problem.
Yeah. It is a problem. It is a problem. Here is the pool report. Question. Here's the line of questioning. It was reporter Jeff Zrebic. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Question is, what went into the decision to reverse the touchdown that was initially ruled on the field for Isaiah Likely in the fourth quarter? Mark Butterworth, the ref, says the ruling on the field was a touchdown. We quickly looked at the play. The receiver controlled the ball in the air, had his right foot down, and then his left foot down. The control is the first aspect of the catch. The second aspect is 2 feet or body part inbounds. That's not in the rule. That's not in the NFL rule, but it's part of a catch, right? Then the third step is act common to the game. Bull shnikes. And before he could get the third foot down, the ball was ripped out. Therefore, it was an incomplete pass. That is all BS. Nowhere in the NFL rules does it say 3 feet need to be down. 3 steps. It says control and football act. That's it. So if you're inbounds, right? If you're just inbounds, you're in the middle of the field, and you make that catch, which he essentially was. He was in the middle of the end zone pretty much. All you had to do was catch the ball and make a football move. That's it. Catch, turn, down. Now, if you didn't take 2 steps and you made the catch, turned, and then fumble, then that's a fumble. But if you catch, turn, 2 steps, and then go to the ground, and the ball comes out going to the ground, but the ground didn't cause a fumble, it's a fumble. In this case, it's catch, he admitted, 2 feet down. He's making a play the whole time. He's going towards towards out of bounds, but he's nowhere near out of bounds. See, he's making a play the whole time. Nowhere in the NFL does it say third step. Nowhere. Not one place. Because you could catch the ball and catch it with 1 foot down and then take your second step. And then in your third step, which is not needed, you've already made the play. You've already made the play. So I don't get it. He goes on to say the next question. So an act common to the game, what would that constitute in the end zone? It was 2.5 steps before the third step went down, what would constitute an act common to the game? Butterworth,
Catching the ball.
right. Butterworth says for this play, it would be him completing the third step. So the question is, so he needed the third step in the end zone in this situation? And Butterworth said, yes, sir. Huh. So every touchdown that has 2 steps, erase it. All of them. Take them all off the board right now. Change all the scores. Because that'd be about all of them.
I got a little something here. So Baltimore Ravens head coach John Harbaugh called the league on Monday looking for clarification after a critical touchdown catch was called back and the team's loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. When he hung up, John Harbaugh was just as confused as he was when he made the call. Quote, "It's about as clear as mud right now," Harbaugh said, of the NFL's catch rule. "That's how I feel about it," end quote.
Okay, now, we could be wrong. Could be wrong, right? We could be.
I have no dog. I have no pony in this show, right?
Yeah, we have no dog in this race.
I don't care if the Steelers won. I don't care if the Ravens won. I had no money on this. I didn't make any bets on this. Nothing. I don't have any of those players in fantasy football. I have nothing on this game. For me as a football fan, that is a touchdown. That's it. That's it. It's a touchdown.
Hold on.
That's it. Plain and simple.
All right. I'm going to bring in, I'm probably going to have to erase this, but I'm going to bring in the NFL's rule book, but I'm probably going to have to erase it. Let me, Eric, go ahead with something. Go ahead and do your, well, wait. I don't want to get too far off, actually. Just wait. Pause 1 second.
Oh, well, I got one thing I can say. Today at 10 a.m., if you are a Detroit Lions season ticket holder, you have the chance to buy playoff tickets, extra playoff tickets. So like me, I bought all the playoff tickets right when they went on sale for my seats, but I can buy up to 2 additional tickets anywhere in the stadium that are available, starting today at 10 o'clock in the morning for the wild card round only, if needed at Ford Field. And if you buy them and they don't have a playoff game, you just automatically get it refunded back to you.
Oh, no. Be careful with that.
That's what it says. No, that's what it says in the email. It does. The other email for the ones that I purchased already, it says it goes towards your season tickets.
Yeah, it goes towards your season tickets.
But these ones here is an automatic refund. It's not like the first set that you bought.
Yeah, I don't know. Last year it seemed like we got, well, I don't want to say screwed, but yeah, it didn't we bought a bunch of tickets, and let's just say we never got a refund.
There's really no need to buy them right now though, because as of now we are not hosting a playoff game.
Gosh darn it. What just happened with this stupid thing? 1 sec.
I just thought that was interesting.
Real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Like, we still have a chance. We have a chance. You know, and the other thing too is, it's not only do we not only just have a chance, but to actually host something. Like, we could host something in the second week. It all depends on how it goes down.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we would have to be the 6th or the 5th seed and have a 1 or 2 seed lose.
Yeah, something
have
like
the seed
that.
below us win. Have a 7th seed win.
Don't hurt my brain.
You know,
That's gonna hurt my brain today.
Yeah, we would have to get all the way up to like the 5 seed.
All right,
actually win the division, which could happen if we get to 12-5. It's very plausible the Lions could, even though having a lesser divisional game, that tie could come back to hurt the Packers if they go on a little bit of a slide. But I do not see them doing that.
Oh, I do. I don't think the Packers are going to win out. All right, here we go.
Well,
Here we go. I screwed up my press conference one. So this is, here, let me open it up a little bit and show you what I'm on. This is the NFL's rule book. This is Rule 8, Section 1, Articles 3 and 4. If you go to operations.nfl.com, you can get all of the NFL rules. So if you like to study the NFL rules like I do, this is where I get all my info. I have no problem sharing that because y'all deserve it, man. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
What was that?
I'm pressing the wrong buttons.
Okay.
Here we go.
Football operations.
It is a catch if an eligible player secures the ball in his hands or arms before the ball hits the ground. A forward pass is complete by the offense or intercepted by the defense in the field of play, at the sideline, or in the end zone.
Hold
the player
on.
must have control.
Wait. What did he just say?
A forward pass is complete by the offense or intercepted by the defense in the field of play, at the sideline, or in the end zone.
Or in the end zone.
The player must have control of the ball, get 2 feet or another body part down, and perform any common football acts such as a third step, extending the ball, or having the time to perform such an act. If a player fails to perform a football act and loses control of the ball upon hitting the ground, he must regain control before the ball touches the ground. If he does not, it is an incomplete pass. If a player goes out of bounds before regaining control, it is an incomplete pass.
Okay, so in here, Rich Eisen mentions that you had to complete the third step, right? Or you have to make a football move. Correct? That's what he just said.
Yeah. So why didn't they show the Calvin Johnson or the
you know why.
the Cowboy player play,
So here's the thing. Third step, or you have to make a football move. He put the ball forward.
That's a move.
That's his move. He caught it and put the ball forward. I don't get it. So any player makes a catch may advance the ball. A forward pass is complete by the offense or intercepted by the defense in the field of play, at the sideline, or in the end zone if a player who is inbounds, inbounds, yes. So secure control of the ball. He did that in his hands or arms prior to the ball touching the ground. So he did that. It touches the ground inbounds. He did that with both feet or with any part of his body other than his hands. And A and B have been, after A and B have been fulfilled, clearly performs any act common to the game. And right here, extend the ball forward. Take an additional step, tuck the ball away, or turn upfield, or avoid and ward off an opponent, or he maintains control of the ball long enough to do so. Okay? That's great. Let me get you Isaiah Likely's catch. Ball forward. There's his football move. 1, 2, feet are down. Ball still forward. And then there's that half a step, but the ball's still forward. That's a football move. Sorry, NFL. I don't agree. Eric, take us away with around the 60. I'll be right back.
All right.
Give me 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Eric, let's go.
Yep, we're going to go around the league in 60 seconds. I'm going to give you a little bit of news, and we're going to talk about some of this later on. The Indianapolis Colts, they are working out former NFL star and current Alabama high school coach Phillip Rivers on Tuesday, according to a report by Adam Schefter. The news comes a day after starting quarterback Daniel Jones tore his Achilles on Sunday. His backup, former Notre Dame star Riley Leonard, is week to week with a strained knee ligament, per the report. So now the Colts have no healthy quarterbacks. The Steelers, they take control of the AFC North. They won the Desperation Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens, pulling off a pivotal victory to jump into first place in the AFC North. The Steelers' defense stifled Lamar Jackson, who continues to struggle with turnovers against divisional opponents. With the win, Mike Tomlin's squad now controls its own destiny in the division, while the Ravens are left searching for answers on offense as they fight to stay in the wild card picture. And hopefully the Lions can help out the Ravens just a little bit in 2 weeks. The Broncos, they won their 10th straight game. The hottest team in football kept rolling as the Denver Broncos, 11-2, defeated the Las Vegas Raiders 24-17 to secure their 10th consecutive victory. And then Bo Nix managed the game efficiently, and the Denver defense shut down the Raiders late to seal the win. The victory keeps the Broncos atop the AFC standings, holding the tiebreaker over the New England Patriots for the number 1 overall seed. Then the Seattle Seahawks officially slammed the door on the Atlanta Falcons season with a resounding 37-9 victory in Atlanta, and this knocked Atlanta out of playoff contention. Rookie safety Nick Emanwari was the star, recording an interception, a sack, and blocking a field goal in a tremendous performance that highlighted Seattle's defensive dominance. The loss drops Atlanta to 4-9, mathematically eliminating them from the postseason for the 8th consecutive year, while Seattle keeps pace near the top of the NFC. And the Bills, they won a thriller over the Bengals in the snow in a classic December game. The Buffalo Bills, 9-4, outlasted the Cincinnati Bengals 39-34 to keep their AFC East title hopes alive. Josh Allen was masterful in the elements, and the defense got a key performance from cornerback Christian Benford. The win was crucial for Buffalo as they try to chase down the division-leading Patriots, while the loss deals a massive blow to the Bengals, who are 4-9 and already have slim playoff chances. That basically knocked them out. The Chiefs, their offense, they hit rock bottom in a loss to the Texans. The Kansas City Chiefs looked like a shell of their former selves in a 20-10 home loss to the Houston Texans. Patrick Mahomes struggled mightily, throwing 3 interceptions and completing less than 43% of his passes while being harassed by Houston's defense. The low point came early in the fourth quarter when Andy Reid opted to go for it on 4th and 1 from their own 31-yard line, a gamble that failed and led directly to a Texans touchdown. The loss drops the Chiefs out of the current playoff picture, leading to questions about whether their dynasty is officially old, tired, and out of ideas. And you would not believe how many people I saw on social media this weekend who want Andy Reid fired. I could not believe it.
It's crazy.
So that's around the league in 60 seconds.
I missed it all.
Basically, I'll give it to you in really quick. The Chiefs lost. The Bills won. Seattle won. Denver won. The Steelers won. And the Colts are working out Phillip Rivers. And I know you had a thing about Phillip Rivers today.
Yeah, so the thing about Phillip Rivers, man, it kind of fits the Lions to a degree. I don't know which things you read on Phillip Rivers, but here's what I got, man. The sources obviously cited that after Daniel Jones went down, the Colts are looking for somebody that can help extend their season. I mean, they have a crazy good season going on. And I would say that their defense is largely responsible for a lot of it, but I think that Daniel Jones has been a breath of fresh air to this team. Obviously, this injury is what it is. It's like Brian Branch, man. He doesn't deserve it. Riley Leonard, he's dealing with a knee injury already. So the Colts turn to a retired NFL great, Phillip Rivers. I don't even know the last time he's played ball. Was it 2020? 2020 was the last time he played ball?
I thought it was 21.
Well, either way, 4 or 5 seasons ago, this dude has got a beer belly, right? I mean,
he's been a high school football coach.
There ain't no way he's in football shape. So here's what I'm going to say to Lions fans, because I really don't care what they do with a 44-year-old quarterback at this point. I would try to finagle a way to say, hey, Aaron Rodgers, somehow Steelers release him and then pick him up. That's what I would do. That's not going to happen, but That's what I would do. Figure out a way to get released and then go join the Colts. But how many Lions fans have been saying we need a better quarterback than Jared Goff?
Oh, every day.
Okay.
Every day, all over social media, 1,000 times a day.
Okay.
There are so many Lions fans that just cannot stand Jared Goff.
So isn't it a little crazy that a team that is winning a lot of football games right now, there's no one else in the NFL that's available?
Mm-hmm.
Not sitting on a couch, not sitting on a practice squad. There's nobody available. And I say that because for all of the people that think that there's a better football player and a better quarterback than Jared Goff, the Colts clearly can't find that player. And he's not on any practice squad right now or sitting anywhere else. They're unavailable. They're not available. They don't exist. So unless you're going to somehow pluck some other starter from a team, which isn't going to happen, Jared Goff has been a top 5 quarterback for the last 3 seasons. How much better are we really that concerned that Jared Goff can't escape every single pocket? Guess what? Neither can Mahomes. Neither can Lamar Jackson. Clearly, we sacked him, 7 times, 6 times, whatever it was. We did, right? The team that can't sack anybody, we sacked them that many times. So they have all the wheels in the world, and they can't get out of the pocket because guess what? This is the NFL. And a pocket can be open, and a pocket can close within a blink of an eye in a quarter of a second. You've got a 34-inch arm pulling you down. So if it can happen to Mahomes, if it can happen to Lamar Jackson, if it can happen to Jackson Dart, if it can happen, if it can happen to Josh Allen, it's gonna happen to Jared Goff.
8 times Josh Allen against the Texans 2 weeks ago.
And so that's the next part of the point. How many times? What's the most amount of times that Jared Goff has been sacked in the last 3 years in one game?
Probably 5.
Maybe 5. I don't really know the answer. Hold on.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know the answer from this standpoint. He has not been sacked as many times as these other guys that I just said in one game.
Well, no, I would rather have a Tom Brady, Jared Goff statue back there, a pocket passer that is going to get the ball to the appropriate place. Now, do I wish that every once in a while Goff would actually try to run? Yes, because he can actually run a little bit. There were a couple plays this year that were infuriating because Goff had nothing but green grass in front of him and he just dirts the ball.
That's by purpose, though.
I know, but there's a couple that.
Well, you don't want Jared Goff running. You don't want him taking a hit.
He could have walked 4 yards for a touchdown.
No.
Yes.
Look. I think that's the easy way out. I think that when you actually look at the play, you're going to see that there's a linebacker that's hidden. You're going to see a safety or a corner that's hidden.
Live in person, 20 feet in front of me. That's what I saw.
Well, exactly. You don't see it after the fact when you watch the all-22 and you're like, okay, I get it now. He could have taken off, but he's going to get smacked, within a few yards. And is a few yards worth it for Jared Goff to get smacked? Is it worth it? No, it's not. Is it worth it for Jared Goff to somehow try to slide and then he gets his cleat stuck and then he breaks an ankle? No, it's not. Is it worth it for him to try to dive forward and then guess what? They still hit him helmet to helmet and then he gets concussed or worse yet, breaks a shoulder or a hand or something because he wanted because fans wanted him to go for 3 or 4 yards. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
He had a 24-yard run, his longest run ever 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So 5 sacks is the answer. And it happened in 2021 versus the Eagles. It happened in 2022 versus the Cowboys. And it happened in 2023 versus the Ravens. So he has yet to take more than 5 sacks in a single game since the 2024 season. And that was in October. All 3 times. October 22, October 23, October 31. October is his worst month for sacks. And quite honestly, October has generally been Jared Goff's worst month ever as a football player. October's always been a bad month for him. I don't know why, but after the first 4 games, something happens in games, 5 through whatever. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think November might be his worst month. But sack-wise, October's his worst month. I'm gonna have to revisit that. It might be November that's more of his worst month, or be halfway between October and mid-November. it's his worst time in the NFL. It's when he loses the most games.
Yeah.
But obviously last year we were blessed.
You should look at all these mobile quarterbacks: Mahomes, Hurts, Josh Allen, all these guys, and Lamar Jackson. How many times is the most they've been sacked in a game? You know, Josh Allen's got 8, and all them other guys, I can guarantee they've all had more than 5 in a game.
Well, that's working. What else do you have that's a couple minutes long?
Let me see. I got the NFC North report.
Why don't you run through that? My dog's having issues today, and it takes me a minute to use this cane to get up, get up to the next level. So, why don't you run through that? I'll be right back.
All right. So we're going to go around the NFC North real quick. All right. We're going to start with the Chicago Bears. And before Caleb Williams was intercepted on the final play in the loss to the Green Bay Packers, the Bears head coach, Ben Johnson, had already made up his mind that if the Bears scored a touchdown there, that they were opting to go for 2 points instead of tying the game and going into overtime. So he was going to pull out his inner Dan Campbell, and he was going to go for 2 instead of going for the tie and going for overtime. So I got a question for everyone. It seems Dan Campbell molded Ben Johnson into a risk taker as a head coach. Do you think that going for 2 there in the final minute would have been a smart move, or would it be taking it to overtime had been the smarter move? So which do you guys think would have been the better move, going for 2 or taking it to overtime for Ben Johnson and the Bears last weekend? All right. Yes. FBJ. Yeah. F Ben Johnson. I hear you there. All right. And next we're going to get to the Green Bay Packers. All right. I brought in an article from a Green Bay Packer writer. Okay. And this is what he had to say. Matthew Golden's rookie season is officially a lost cause for the Packers. Despite being the Packers' first round wide receiver since 2002, Golden's rookie season is being labeled a lost cause due to a lack of impact and production. Golden has recorded 24 catches for 286 yards and 0 touchdowns in 10 games. His production has dropped significantly recently, with only 6 catches for 37 yards in his last 4 games. In the Packers' recent win in Week 14 over the Bears, Golden played a team-low 5 offensive snaps and received only 1 target, which he did not catch. He has fallen behind other receivers like Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and even Bo Melton on the depth chart. Injuries have hindered his season with a shoulder and a wrist, though he has tried to play through them. Additionally, head coach Matt LaFleur has not manufactured touches for the rookie, opting instead to spread the ball around. Now, my question is this: with Golden being a first-round pick with 0 touchdowns on the season, does this make you feel better about the Detroit Lions spending 3 third-round picks on Isaac Tesla, who has 4 touchdowns on 8 receptions? Not too bad. And are the Packers cursed with first-round wide receivers? I'm thinking yes, they are. So just a little bit to make you feel a little bit better about that Isaac Tesla pick with 3 third-rounders. All right, and then lastly, this is one I kind of wanted to get into it with Will right in the beginning of the show today. The Minnesota Vikings. Unfortunately, a banged-up Washington team lost Zach Ertz to a very gruesome-looking knee injury on Sunday. His leg went the wrong way at the knee. The veteran tight end needed to be carted to the locker room after taking a brutal shot from Jay Ward. The Commanders later confirmed that Zach Ertz tore his ACL on the play, and it did require surgery. While some fans have insisted the hit by Ward was dirty, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell defended his safety, saying, quote, "I know for a fact there was no bad intent behind that play where things are happening fast out there," O'Connell said, per Kevin Seifert. "You've got to be very aware of where guys' head and neck areas are on those plays," the coach noted, explaining the defensive back's decision to go low. So this is my question for Will and everyone else. If this exact same play was Brian Branch instead of Ward, would it have been flagged? Would it have resulted in an ejection? Would it have resulted in a suspension? And then, was this a dirty hit? And should Ward be fined or suspended? I believe both a fine and suspension are warranted in this case. He went purposely for the guy's knee. He could have went higher, he could have went lower, but he went right for that knee, and there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it to me. He went right after him. So what do you guys think? Was awful to see, but guys have to go low because if they go high, they get flagged. Well, that is correct. Bingo, but Brand holds a 4-3-3 performance. Yep. So a lot of people have talked about, Brad Holmes doing the 3 first, third round picks on Tesla. And it's nice to see that he is outperforming the first round pick of the Green Bay Packers. And David says this is a result of the targeting rules. So yes, this could be part of the targeting rules.
There's no targeting in the NFL, though.
Yep. That's kind of why I brought it up. This is football. Hate to say it. And then Robbie One says, even seen many hits this year, way worse than Branch launch pad tackles. Yeah, I've seen. I think this hit on Zach Ertz is 100 times worse than any hit that Brian Branch has done, and Brian Branch got a suspension this year for a game, and was wasn't he ejected from the game as well, if I remember right? So it ended up being a game and a half with Brian Branch.
Okay, so repeat your question for me. I kind of heard it when I was upstairs.
Yeah, so this is the question here, and it's kind of a long question. If this exact same play was Brian Branch instead of Ward, would it have been flagged? Would it have been an ejection? Would it have been a suspension? And was it a dirty hit? And should Ward be fined or suspended? So a lot of questions in there.
Okay, well, let's break it down one by one. Was it a dirty hit? We'll start there.
Okay.
Let me bring it in for context. Okay, upon watching the play right now live, what I see is Ward coming in to make the tackle. He's looking at Ertz, but see, Ertz jumps up for the ball. So when Ward's coming in, he sees the lower center of gravity in the beginning of Ertz's body to the ground.
Yeah,
Ertz, because he's coming in to make the hit, right? The ball's in the air. He knows it's going to Ertz. He's coming in to make the hit. When Ertz jumps, that now brings his knee up about, 20 inches. He didn't jump high. It's not like he has a 36-inch vertical or anything. He leaped and then reached with his arm. So now if he was targeting his upper thigh, he's now at his knee. Mm-hmm. And when he makes the hit, it is right about 3 to 6 inches above the kneecap. So it's on the lowest part of the thigh, which technically is not a low hit. Technically, it's a textbook hit. We've seen where Kirby Joseph has been targeted by fans with hits on...
and that's why I bring this up.
Yeah, with hits on Hawkinson and was it Higbee with the Rams?
And Higbee. Almost the exact same thing. And I did not say whether I thought this was a dirty hit or not.
So I'm going to say no. I don't think it's dirty hit.
My context out of it, okay? And it's funny to see everybody jumping on me in the chat saying, "Oh, it wasn't a dirty hit, blah blah blah." Okay. I'm not saying it was a dirty hit. All I'm asking is, do you think it was a dirty hit? And if that was Brian Branch or if that was Kirby Joseph, what would the aftermath be if it was one of our players versus a Vikings player who has not been in trouble before?
So, okay, that's the key right there. What you just said is the key. So I think that because Brian Branch has been targeted by the NFL, he's been made an example of by the NFL, starting with the Packers game last year where he was ejected, right? That was last season. He was ejected in that first game.
Yep.
Yeah, I was sitting there.
In the rain.
I was there, yeah.
In the rain trying to tackle a guy.
Right. So he's been targeted.
Yep.
That's why. That's why he would have gotten a fine and potentially a suspension out of this. Definitely he would have been fined. Kirby, having had 2 previous hits that I don't believe were fined, he definitely wasn't suspended. And it was not flagged.
He never got a fine or a flag over either one of those.
Here's the thing. Unless they're going to change the rule, I don't think that Ward's hit was dirty. It looks dirty.
They have tried to change the rule.
It looks dirty. I don't think it was dirty. And as of today, he still has not been penalized, fined, right? Or suspended. Now, is it expected? He's probably expecting some overnight mail, in the next 24 to 48 hours, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know if it's coming, right? I haven't heard anything, haven't seen anything. All I know right now is he has not been fined. Watching the incident, watching the hit, it looks bad. It looks really bad. And this probably just ended Ertz's career finally. And you hate to go out that way. You really do. And I felt for it. As soon as the hit happened, man, I was prayers up for him immediately on Twitter, partially because he was a Detroit Lion. But
for a hot minute.
It's not an illegal hit. And therefore it shouldn't be fined. Just because he was injured. So, okay, that's the third part of this. When the player is injured, I think that's where the fans lose their minds. If he had not been injured, what are you saying then?
Yeah.
Okay, low hit. Thankfully, he escaped injury. It is what it is. But because the injury happens, it changes the entire scope of how fans feel about it. Kirby put 2 players out, right? Higbee and Hawkinson both, got taken out of the game. Branch has had some questionable hits, more so with his damn helmet than anything. I feel like he goes high, he doesn't go low. But Branch is also trying to see what he's hitting and how many times does his face mask hit a helmet, and it's helmet to helmet. And Branch, if you don't realize this about Branch, he wears small shoulder pads. And I think that is hurting him more than helping him. Obviously, he doesn't want to wear bigger pads because it'll slow him down, right? It reduces his range of motion. But wearing smaller shoulder pads means you have less of a target to lay, on a player. And wrapping up and reaching is what they teach you not to do. Well, wrapping up they want you to do. But reaching, you don't want to reach. And that's why Branch always leads in with that shoulder and in the helmet. Is he tries to put it to the side, but he's reaching and leaning with that shoulder and wrapping up at the same time. That's why he's such a good tackler. I'm surprised his shoulder hasn't been banged up yet. I'm sure it's sore as hell, but I don't think Branch is dirty. I think that Branch is old school. And had he played 20 years ago, he would be a much different player than he is today. I think he'd be on every highlight film that there is. He would be just as feared as a Ray Lewis or anybody else crossing the middle of the field. That would have been a Branch, man.
Not gonna lie, I used to get the NFL's greatest hits VHS tape every year.
Yeah, Sports Illustrated.
I loved it. Yeah, I was subscribed to it. Yeah, I even have the old
boxes of that shit. I got boxes since the 80s.
Dude, I still have the nylon windbreaker Detroit Lions that says Sports Illustrated on it. I still have it.
I don't think I have that one anymore. The one that I did save for a while is they sent me it was Alonzo Mourning. I think he played for the Charlotte Hornets. And it was like the Zoe brand, Zoe something. So they sent me this Charlotte Hornet jacket And-
God, everybody had one of those in high school.
So they sent me one of those. Oh, I loved it. Loved it.
I don't know, was that teal color or what?
Yeah,
I even
teal
remember,
and purple and white. I loved it.
yeah, like there was always that one kid in high school that had to have one of those. You know, there's 2-3 kids. Oh yeah, I still remember my sister had the quarter zip windbreaker jacket with the pocket in the front.
I just bought another starter jacket. I think I showed it to you already.
Yeah,
A lot of people have it now. A lot of people got them at Costco, which I can't believe that the same starter jacket at Ford Field right now, it's almost identical. It's $180, and at Costco was $79.
I just saw that, you know, that little self-flying drone that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw at Costco, it's like $380 right now.
The DJI or whatever it's called.
No. This is what's
not
it called?
DJI. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, this is by 00 Robotics, but it's called the X1, I think. But normally when I bought it, it was $800 or $900 with all the stuff with it, and it's $380 right now at Costco. I couldn't believe the deal.
So I was going back and looking
deals.
at some sack numbers, right? And
Sure.
I just pulled a couple. So in October of 2023, I only went back to 23. Like Daniel Jones was sacked 10 times. 10 times against the Seahawks on October 2.
And he's mobile.
Right.
Or he was.
He was
mobile.
Jimmy Garoppolo was mobile 6 times against the Chargers. Many quarterbacks have been sacked 6 to 7 times. I don't have the full context here, but let me just wrap it up by saying this. Jared Goff, it looks bad. He looks bad when he tries to escape. He looks bad when he tries to run. He looks bad when he takes a sack. It doesn't look smooth, right? He's clunky. He's clunky because he's not twitchy. He's not fast. He's not a burst guy. But he's smart. And what I'm going to tell you about Jared Goff is he will hang in there to the very...
Yep. We got the Ring of Doom on YouTube.
Hold on.
There it goes back.
I don't understand why it does that. Let me see if I can change something real quick. Maybe we're streaming too hot. Back it down.
Art Vandalay says the NFL Crunch Time VHS was legit. It sure was.
So anyway, what I wanted to finish with Goff was I respect the hell out of a guy that is not big, right? He looks like a beanpole. He's stronger than what you should. You know, a lot of people don't give him credit to be. He's a strong dude. He's taken some vicious hits, like the Seahawks game where he's the Statue of Liberty back there. The ball was already out for like 2 seconds, and he got just crushed. Jumps right back up. I've hardly ever seen Jared Goff take a hit and not jump up. It's happened maybe once or twice in the last couple of years, but I've watched Caleb Williams get hit multiple times. And dude, you got to peel him off the freaking grass with a pizza spatula. So you want to talk about toughness? Jared Goff is one of the toughest damn quarterbacks in the NFL, and I can't believe the amount of fans that want to continually throw him under the bus. And a matter of fact, there's a certain individual that will leave a statement on some of the videos and lives, and it says hogwash. That's all they ever say. David Kutzka. And I deleted the dude. I'm like, okay, look, every time you come in and you say this for whatever reason. So I got rid of him. And then literally an hour later, created the same name with a new account, deleted that one. So I'll assume we'll get another one. But it's new accounts. I only imagine who it is. I have 3 names of who it is. But either way, Jared Goff is the guy we want. There's nobody else that I would want back there right now or for the next several years. He's proven that he can get the job done. He's proven that he can stand in there and take some big licks. He's proven that he can get the ball out where and when needed to. He's proven that he has great relationships with the guys in the locker room and on the field. It's proven that he throws the ball at some of the highest passer ratings ever in the NFL and completion percentages and perfect games. He's a proven winner. He's a proven leader. Dude's tough as nails. Why would you want anybody else?
Yeah. Let's say an imaginary world right now, the Lions tomorrow, they decide they're going to release Jared Goff. There would be 31 waiver claims on Jared Goff. 31. Every single team would want him either as a backup or
maybe
as
26, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but you can't tell me that even somebody like Green Bay, they wouldn't want to have Goff over Malik.
No, because Jared Goff wouldn't be a backup; he'd be a starter.
I'm just saying,
Green Bay is not going to take in Goff, man. There's too much hate there.
Goff is better than any backup in the league.
Oh, for sure, he'll be a starter though. So I said 26. He'll be a starter on 26 teams.
Oh, 26 teams,
not named Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes or the top quarterbacks in the league, Herbert and others. All right, so be back in 17 seconds. I got one more thing that I really wanted to get into today, and then we got a few other things. We'll talk about Lions news. I know we're a lot late getting to Lions news, but we got a few things to talk about there. NFL's rigged when we get back.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again.
You know, I said NFL's rigged when we get back. We kind of started out with that a little bit, and after we kind of got off because I had to take care of the dog and whatnot. There's a game this weekend that I think would point to that the NFL doesn't care anymore. They're going to do it right in front of your face. And I'm talking about the Broncos and the Raiders. The Broncos leading the AFC 11-2. They're in a good game against the Raiders, man. A game that I did not expect to be this good. Now, the Raiders, who've been struggling all year, were holding tough. It's 24-17 was the end. It was the end of the score, right? 24-17.
Yep.
They were leading anyway. However, some fans are convinced that the final score doesn't really tell the full picture, as they claim the score was fixed into the bookmakers' favor, Vegas, after Denver headed into the game as a 7.5-point favorite, right? In the fourth quarter, the Broncos had the ball on 4th and 4 at the 28-yard line. But in a surprising decision, they opted not to go for the field goal that would have extended their lead to 27-14 and make it a 13-point game. Instead, Denver attempted to run the ball for no gain, seeing that the Raiders take over with under 30 seconds remaining on the clock. What came next raised eyebrows across the league, across the world, and everybody melted down. Namely, Dave Portnoy, called for Pete Carroll's death, allegedly, said murder the guy, okay? And now he's taking some hot criticism. Had to do another video saying I would never mean for harm, and we would never mean any harm here on this channel. Of course, we don't want any harm, and I get it. You know, when we grew up, we used to say stuff to each other like, I'm going to murk you or whatever, the terminology is. And today, that is considered a threat. It's considered like a felony now when you say stuff like that to people because people are soft, right? But in today's world, there's been some crazy things that have happened with schools and other things. I'm not going to get political. I'm not going to get any of that. There's a lot of crap that's gone on. And I think now people are taking words a little bit more serious, but even saying something like that can earn you a little piece of paper, right, that would prohibit you from ever coming close to that person ever again. Dave Portnoy puts out this video. Rightfully so, his thought process, not what he said about Pete Carroll. Would never agree with that. But here's what happened. Spiked the ball and leaving 16 seconds on the clock, Kenny Pickett found wide receiver Tyler Lockett for a massive gain that would have ordinarily seen the clock just run down. Okay, that didn't happen. What was brutal for the Broncos, minus 7.5 and under 40.5 for the bettors. The clock was going to run out, but the Broncos commit a delay of game penalty, and then the Raiders kick a field goal and lose 24-17. The Raiders plus 7.5 and the over 40.5 both cash. A delay of game penalty was called, which allowed Vegas to then set up and convert a field goal. In the dying seconds, they cut the Broncos' lead to 24-17 and covered the spread in favor of the bookmakers. Why? Because 24-17 is 7 points. Spread was 7.5. You're going to lose this game. And even if you drive it all the way down and get a touchdown, which is what you would have needed to tie the game, you would think that they would have thrown a Hail Mary. Something. Hook and ladder, do something to try to tie this ball game up. Instead, you kick a meaningless field goal. There's nothing to suggest that the plays and the penalties that were called to rig the game were not intentional. The dramatic ending to this game left all bettors furious. One fan wrote, quote, "Was Broncos Raiders a rigged game? A meaningless field goal to rig the cover for the Raiders?" Just brutal. Absolutely brutal. And the Raiders, the refs, the entire NFL, along with Vegas, need to be in prison for the cover. This entire thing is an effing joke, added Portnoy. Another one fumed, quote, "You don't kick this unless you know and care about the spread number." Disgusting by Pete Carroll. Raiders clearly owned and influenced by casinos that needed that game to go a certain way. And the Raiders kick a meaningless field goal right to cover the spread with 0 seconds left on the clock. You cannot convince me or anyone else that Pete Carroll didn't know the number. Posted another. Barstool Chief Dave Portnoy was also among those and said plenty. You just got to go check out his social media for everything that he said. Complete meltdown. Here's what I'll give you the Cliff Notes. Quote, "That's the worst beat of all time. You have to investigate the Raiders. Investigate the Raiders." Portnoy screamed into the camera. Quote, "What are they doing? What the F? That's the worst beat of all time. This is cheating. What the F? I got to rewind this. That is the worst effing beat of all time. This is the worst beat of all time. Pete Carroll should be in effing prison. Prison for Pete Carroll. The refs, everybody. This is prison. This is prison. There's 16 seconds left in the game. By the way, the play before this, there was effing 20 seconds. They threw it. Prison. The spread's 8.5. They spiked the ball, by the way. They ran up and spiked it as a temp prison Pete Carroll. Murder Pete Carroll. Want Pete Carroll murked. All quoted by Portnoy. He said he stood to lost over $200,000 on this game. Eric, what was going through your mind when this happened and you saw the fallout? Obviously, Portnoy was a little upset.
It was let's just say this whole thing was baffling. How do the Broncos just not run the clock out? I don't get it. And how do they not kick a field goal there to go up by 13? I mean, to go up by 10. Yeah. It would have been 13. Yeah. So it just makes zero sense whatsoever that the Broncos don't kick a field goal, that they don't run the timeout, because they very well could have. And then the fact that the Raiders get the ball back, and instead of trying to tie the game, they just kick a field goal. Or, trying to get a touchdown, get a field goal. It makes zero sense. This is one of the oddest play calls by both coaches at the same time ever in NFL history. It just makes zero sense. In any other game, it would never go that way.
You know what's weird is like when I go on to NFL Pro and I try to whittle everything down, it doesn't give you an option to select field goal. You can only select touchdown. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back. I'm going to give you the play-by-play. Fourth quarter, 52 seconds left on the clock. Here we go. Scores 24-14. Quarter 4, 52 seconds. It's 2nd and 8. Raiders have the ball. Climbs the pocket, makes a throw, makes a catch. to who caught the ball? Where are we at? That would have been to Besh for 5 yards. They run back to the line, no huddle, shotgun. Pickett scrambles left to the 41. And scrambles left tackle to the Las Vegas 41 for 6 yards. So that would be a first down. Right? So now there's 33 seconds left on the clock. They go no huddle. Pickett spikes the ball to stop the clock after the scramble. So now there's 33 seconds on the clock. So now they got the ball here at, where are they at? 3rd and 3, is it? Las Vegas 35? Maybe I'm losing they keep showing 2 plays. My bad. Now they go and spike it. Clock's running. 17 seconds. 1st and 10. Ball spiked. They are at the, 47? 41. Next play, 2nd and 10 on the Las Vegas 41, 16 seconds left on the clock. Drops back, scrambles forward, scramble, launches a pass downfield, completed at about the 33-yard line. They run through it twice, so I didn't select just sideline. So now there's 5 seconds. 4th quarter, they bring on the field goal unit. You are at the 33-yard line. 28-yard line. You need a touchdown to tie this ball game. It is 17-24. You have no time to get the ball back at all, period. You don't have time to kick an onside and get the ball back. Okay, you line up for the field goal. You could have maybe run a fake field goal pass, but this is definitely a play where you're launching that ball into the end zone. No team in the history of the league would trot on a field goal unit to attempt a field goal when you need a touchdown to tie and send it into overtime. Clearly, this is a rigged football game. It can't be said any differently. Why do you care about 3 points? Why? Doesn't make any sense to me. Now maybe my score's off a little bit because it says 17-24. It was 24-14, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they came within a touchdown. My bad. They came within a touchdown. So either way, even if they would have had a touchdown, it's my bad for going through this the way I did because it keeps showing 2 plays and it's got my score off. Before the play, it was 24-14. They couldn't have won, right? They couldn't have tied. So scrap everything I just said. They couldn't have won, couldn't have tied. But still, you kick a field goal to ruin the odds instead of just taking another shot at the end zone or letting the clock run out, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Final thoughts.
Yeah. This is the hinkiest play calling I've ever seen in the last 2 minutes of a game by not one, but both coaches.
Insane.
It's like somebody's calling down on their headset. Yeah, we need to get this other team 3 points. So we need you to leave them some time on the clock and let them go down and get a field goal. Okay.
So
zero sense.
I've done a lot of parlays this year. I do one at least every week, but I do several. But I do one a week, which I know I'm 2 weeks behind on my writing. I'll get to it today, hopefully. The thing that I've said to you, Eric, before is like, man, I think I got this one. Because I go in and I do all of these alternative bets. And I put 50 cents on them or $1, right? So I'm doing bets that like you're getting like 400,000 to 1. And yeah, if you win a ton of money. It's a 50 cent or $1 bet, highly unlikely. But you know what the crazy thing is? I'll show you guys some of my picks at the end of the season. I've only missed a couple of these by like 2. Right? So I'm picking 15 games and I'm missing it by 2. And you know what the crazy thing is? The 2 that I'm missing are the ones where I'm taking a 12.5 or a 13.5 point underdog, whatever, just to get within that many points. And the game ends at 12. The Jets was one of them, or 13, and that half a point gets you. And there's no reason why it should have ended up that way. That's what ends up getting me in the end. And you know what's even crazier is Vegas is not sending me cash out. I've got like 10 of these things pegged. I've only got a few games left, and I'm not getting any cash out. Normally, you get a cash out for 500 or 1,000, at least 10% of what your overall winnings would have been on a $200,000 ticket. I'm not even getting a $2,000 cash out. Nothing. Yeah. It says cash out suspended. Why? Because the Jets are about to lose. It's crazy. So don't bet big money, bet for fun. If everyone just starts betting, these wild parlays with 50 cents or $1, or if you need your team to win, don't bet on the Lions. Bet on the other team the rest of the season. $5 on the other team. And do some crazy things with it so that it drives the numbers really high. And watch, we'll see if the other team starts winning. It happened last week, didn't it? A lot of people put their money on the Cowboys. Lions win.
It sure did.
Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, up next, Lions news and rumors.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again.
All right, Brian Branch is out with an Achilles injury for the rest of the season, and now the Lions have brought in a former interception leader, Damontae Kazee, who potentially, I think he's already been elevated. Has he already been elevated? Did I hear that yesterday? He was elevated?
No, they want to do a quick elevation, though.
Yeah, they do want to do a quick elevation, but I think that he's going to be elevated for this game. I can't see how not. But they brought in the former Brown to the Lions practice squad, Damontae Kazee. The plan is for a quick elevation when he's ready, as the Lions have lost Brian Branch for the season. Now, Kazee obviously helps fulfill the void. He's played a ton of football in his time, over 9 seasons. And so, of course, I started digging through PFF. Not one, I don't care about the grades. But since they are all consistently screwed up, this tells a good story about Kazee, because when I look at all of his grades from 2017 till today, here's what I see. Hardly used in his rookie year. Good grades, but 165 snaps. His next season with Atlanta, 991. So more than likely played at least 80% of the snaps that season. In 2019, 803 snaps. I don't know if he was injured in 2020, but he was used about 25% of the time. Over his first 4 seasons in the league, he was averaging about a 70 on defense, or 68 on defense. His rush or run defense is pretty good, averaging about a 70. His tackling was okay. It's not great, but it's better than most, averaging about a 62. Pass rush, don't really care a whole lot about that. His coverage grade, 61 his rookie year, 82.7 when he played a ton of snaps in his sophomore year, dropped to a 58 in his third year, 61.7 in his fourth year. So then he moves on to Dallas. He plays 1 season there. Average grades again was about average for his career. 900 snaps, a 60.9 in defense, 56.4 against the run, 50 in tackling, 65.1 in coverage. Missed tackle rate, probably a little higher than I would like. He averaged a 14% missed tackle rate throughout his career. You want to see that number below 10%, but for a corner or a safety, those numbers generally a little bit higher because you might miss a tackle at the very beginning. When they catch the football, we've seen it happen quite a bit last week. Pickens, the way that he does that little curl, we had missed tackles all over the field. But then it was his next year in Pittsburgh. He moves on to Pittsburgh, and he had his best season yet. Grade-wise, 81 defense overall, 79.6 against the run, 90 in tackling, 0 missed tackles on the season, only 273 snaps, though, should be said, 78.6 in coverage. Up to this point, in that season, he allowed a 29.2 passer rating against. The year before, in 2021, 63.5 passer rating against. His first two seasons, 91.7, 64.3. His third and fourth year with Atlanta, not great, 118 and 102. For his career, he's a 96.7 passer rating against, and that's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. His next season in 2023 with Pittsburgh, a little bit more pedestrian with his numbers, but again, if you were to compare him to a lot of, safeties today, he's probably in the top 32, top 40, somewhere in that range for his grades. I mean, he's about 60s across the board. What stands out for me is this guy gets his hands on footballs. Now, it's been reported that he's had like 24 pass breakups. I only see 6 on PFF. So I don't know where that number's coming from, that he's had that many pass breakups, which it's not a ton, but it's enough. 17 interceptions has been reported. That is what I see. He's only allowed 11 TDs his entire career over 9 seasons. So less than like 1.25 per year. That's pretty good.
That's very good.
So I'm good with all that. I know his numbers this year are not great. He's only played 11 snaps. Last year, he only played 290, so his legs have got to be somewhat fresh. He's kind of done this up-down thing since 2020. 241 snap, 900, 273, 771, 290, and then this year barely used in Cleveland. Cleveland's got a pretty good back end in their secondary, so I could understand why he's more in a rotational, extremely backup role. This is a good pickup for Brad Holmes. And if you read my article on Detroit Football Journal, mentioning Avonte Maddox as well as the Justin Simmons, a lot of people want to reach to the highest degree and grab these guys, that are big money, big names. And like I said in there, it's not that easy and it's not going to happen. So the Lions brought in DeMonte Kazi. There's another check mark for the receipts for all the people that think the Lions are going to bring in Justin Simmons. Ain't happening.
Oh my God.
You're just wrong. You're just flat out wrong. Stop going to the nth degree with bringing in these crazy names. Is not going to happen. It's just not. It never has. It never will. And the day that Brad Holmes does it, great. You're going to get 1 out of 1,000 right. But I didn't see it happening. Didn't see Kazee happening either. Matter of fact, I didn't really float any names. Quite honestly, I haven't had enough time to really uncover who was fully available, but looking at this guy a little bit, longer and stronger, I think he's a good pickup. I love his versatility. My concern is this. He's 174 pounds. He's 5'11". That concerns me. With the way that the Lions play man defense, it concerns me. I don't like that size. I hope he can dish it out and take it, but he's not going to be an enforcer. He's going to be a pure coverage guy. He's going to help you where he can, but this guy's not a thumper. He is not going to go in downhill, crash the box, and shut down the run. That's not what he's going to be used for. So I say that when I say this next. I'm expecting zone. Exactly what I said in my article. I'm expecting more zone out of Calvin Shepard for the rest of the season. That can hurt us going up against some of the teams like the Rams. He's going to pick it apart, Stafford. But it can help us to where we're not doing what we did against the Cowboys, allowing a ton of explosives in man defense. When we went to zone, it was less and not as bad, but we did allow some things underneath. It's just how those receivers are able to turn and flip and run if you can't drop them where they catch the football. We've lost now Terrion Arnold, who in my opinion is a thumper in the run game. It was probably the worst part of his game, but it was getting increasingly better. He was great in coverage. He got a few penalties. I think Brian Branch is going to be great next year. Or I think Terrion Arnold is going to be great next year. Brian Branch was a do-it-all gadget knife, man. He could do it. He could do it everything. You need a sledgehammer, he's your guy. You need, finesse, he's your guy. You need an enforcer, he's your guy. And you need someone to get after the quarterback, he's your guy. Kazi, coverage. That's the only reason why they're bringing this guy in, and I see it in the zone looks. What say you on Damontae Kazee?
Yeah, we need a backup, and this is perfect. Somebody that can come in and just fill the role. And the Lions also hosted former Los Angeles Rams third-round pick John Johnson for a visit on Monday. So that might be another guy that they bring in, put on the practice squad, get him up to speed, and use as another backup, because they're going to need more than one body, because we still don't know about Kirby Joseph. We don't know if he's good to go. We don't know if he's going to play this week or not play this week. And if he does play, how long is he going to play for? Is he going to be in for one series and then have to come back out? Is he going to play at all again this season? We don't know. So we need more help at safety. And the only thing that kind of gives me pause is even the guys that they're bringing in at safety are 5'9", 5'8", 5'10", 5'11". Everybody is very short. Our entire secondary, I don't think there's a guy over 6 foot tall right now. I saw a post yesterday about it. And so I wouldn't mind seeing someone with a little more height come in, because Kirby Joseph not being out there, he was our tallest DB this year.
Okay, so as far as Johnson goes, if there's going to be a move on him, I would expect it today. If we don't hear anything today, it's probably not going to happen. I just responded to Rick's two-horned rhino. He said, if you need a game-losing reception, he's your guy. I'm not sure who you're talking about. If that's Kazee or if you're talking about Johnson. And what I wouldn't do is I would not put a crown on anything that is maybe a one-off. If there's multiple instances of that happening, then maybe there's something to it, but you'd have to point me in the direction of saying this happened on this game, this game, this game, this game. If it's just a one-off, not worried about it, because it happens all the time. It happens to all the greats. It happens to everybody. You know, they have a bad day. But I would never put that crown on somebody's head unless it's a consistent track of issues. And I just don't know that. What else I said in the article this past week was about Avonte Maddox. And Avonte Maddox, when he came in, he played great. He has always been a good football player. He is a little bit bigger. He definitely has the history. I'm not sorry, he's not. He's definitely a little bit smaller. He definitely has the history behind him playing with Philadelphia. He has that pedigree. But he's also only 5'9", right? 191 pounds. He's a little bit bigger, just in a shorter body frame, right? 191 on 5'9" looks huge, right? 191 on 6'3" looks small. So he's definitely a little bit stronger, but he's a damn good football player. He's only 29 years old. But he's had his time this year. He's gotten in at least 5 games this season. He's produced in every single one. And against the Cowboys, he had 6 tackles, 2 assists, 8 combined. 1 passes defense, 1 forced fumble. So he immediately came in and started making plays. I'm good with Avonte Maddox. I think that with Avonte Maddox back there, that gives us the experience factor. With Kazee, that would give us a little bit more coverage. However, again, I'm thinking that we're going to see more zone. I think that we're going to see more 5 DB looks than we have in the past. We might see 4 linebackers at times, simply trying to get guys that can make plays on the field. Either way, the Lions are going to have to figure something out. Kirby Joseph is a crapshoot. Roll the dice, right? That's going to tell you. That's going to tell you if he's playing or not. We have no idea. Haven't heard anything yet out of Dan Campbell or anybody else. The wild card right here is Thomas Harper. And so Thomas Harper, when he's been in this season, he's played, I thought, fairly well. Now, he's also been in the last half of the season, pretty much since week 6, when we brought him in after the injury to Kirby Joseph after the Chiefs game. I think that's when we brought him in, right around that time. He's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 games this season. No forced fumbles. 3, 4 passes defensed. No sacks. About 22 or 21 tackles. Pretty good football player. He's still in concussion protocol. He has to be able to practice at least Thursday into Friday to be able to make it up this weekend. They're still out on him, according to Dan Campbell. He might not make it up this week. But if Harper gets back and he's healthy, and if Avonte Maddox stays healthy, and if Kirby Joseph can come in and at least be rotational, like I would hope that they don't bring Kirby back in and just feed him to the wolves. You know, bring him in and let him play 25% of the snaps, see how he does. The next week, bring him in or put him in critical moments, right? Because that's going to put a little bit of fear in Matthew Stafford or any quarterback when Kirby's out there, that your ball hawker's out there too. And Kazi's a ball hawker. 17 interceptions is not easy. Kirby almost had that in one season, right? 10 or 11, whatever he had. But I think we're okay. We're not great. This is where Amik Robertson, DJ Reed, and Rock Ya-Sin are going to have to play perfect. Like, these guys are going to have to play out of their mind.
Yeah.
You know, we can't let things getting into the third level. But Kelvin Shepard has to dial up a scheme that's going to work. And I think that you can't lean on the what if. We can't force guys into doing things that either A, they're not comfortable with, B, there's not enough cohesion, which is critical to a secondary. If there's not enough cohesion back there, don't force guys to do things that they're not used to. Don't force them to do things that they have not built a relationship with the guy next to them in doing. Put them in more of a vanilla scheme. Too high, too medium, safety shell, whatever it is. You got this half of the field. You got that half of the field. None of this switching stuff. No switch offs. You take it from center over and you take it from center over. If it's in your window, you got to close it down. But this switching stuff, the single man stuff has got to stop. You can still play man defense and not be in single high safety. If you're going to go single high safety, then I want to see another DB on the field. Or I want to see another linebacker on the field that can make plays. Or at least I want to see Avonte Maddox playing small linebacker. You know, that's what I would love to see. More speed. More guys that can cover. It'd be interesting to see what happens. How are you on time?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. Next up, let's talk about Christian Mahogany. Unlikely to play this week. Obviously unlikely to play. He's barely done anything. They're going to try to sneak him into some practice and see what he's doing in practice, but highly unlikely that Christian Mahogany is going to do anything of note, probably for a couple more weeks. You know, if we get him back, let's just say the last 2 games of the season, I think that would be good. And if they're smart, which they are, again, I think a rotation is good. If you get a rotation of Mahogany and Frazier, I think that helps this team. Fresh legs, right? A different style of offensive tackle, or I'm sorry, offensive guard. It kind of throws the defense off a little bit. If let's say Frazier is in and he has a little bit of trouble with Byron Young or Jared Verse, or whoever's going to line it up over the guard, could be anybody. You never know what the Rams are going to do. Let's say he's having a little bit of trouble. Well, now if you switch it up, then Mahogany's healthy, and you throw Mahogany in there, then it may throw them off, right? Because it's different body size. If you're having a little bit of success doing a certain move, that move may now be negated. So I think that way. I doubt they think that way, but I would love to see a little bit of shared duties going on, a little bit of rotation. It's just not how the Lions usually run. They usually throw a guy in there and that's it. I get it. They got a lot of snaps with Frazier in this last week. I thought that he played pretty well. I'll bring up his PFF grades, but what do you know? What do you think about the offensive line with Mahogany, Frazier, and anybody else that you want to talk about?
Well, Trace put in the chat that Pride of Detroit just put something out because Dan Campbell talked this morning, and his plan is to play rookie guard Miles Frazier versus the Rams. So he's going to be in a rotation with Cologne again this week. He said that Owasika is planning on practicing this week, and he has to see how Owasika plays first before he makes a decision on the left guard spot for this week. And
I don't want to see Owasika sniffing the offensive line.
Yeah, me neither. And then he also says that Christian Mahogany has missed a bunch of games, and he's going to try to practice this week, but it's unclear if he'll jump the Frazier Cologne rotations when he is healthy.
Now, I didn't see Dan Campbell talk this morning.
Yeah, he talked on 97.1
the ticket
on his normal Tuesday talk there. Yeah.
Yeah. So last night, which I was going to bring in, or yesterday, bring in the Dan Campbell press conference here. It's about 13 minutes. He does speak to some of the Frazier stuff. So whatever's changed since last night, we'll catch on 97.1 the ticket tomorrow morning, unless I find it right now. I guess I could bring it in.
Yeah, but he's just saying that for now it's looking like it's going to be Miles Frazier and Cologne trading off and on. And he wants to get Frazier some more snaps, get back into things. And then one minor thing that happened yesterday that we have not talked about at all is defensive lineman Pat O'Connor was signed back to the practice squad. So I'm pretty sure he was released after an injury, so he must be feeling a lot better.
It's one of those moves that
Is that one of those
moves,
handshake deals?
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. So you can release him. He doesn't have to sign anywhere. I think that's kind of where that goes. Today's Tuesday, December 9. And here we go. Let's see if I can get this brought up. I don't think we have any video though. Let's take a listen. We'll just take a listen, I guess. Oh boy.
Ooh, the ticket.
Yeah, sing it, Eric.
The ticket. It's time for Lions Weekly with head coach Dan Campbell. Brought to you by
I'll turn up the volume in just a
Cooling
moment.
and Electrical.
Good morning, Dan. Thanks for joining us. And what's been the biggest takeaway from the win last Thursday night against Dallas?
Biggest takeaway. Well, we played better. That's the biggest thing. We just played better in all three phases, and really we played complementary football, and at critical moments we made critical plays. A number of our guys really stepped up, played big ball, and that was a total team effort. We earned that win. That was the most important thing.
If that's the biggest takeaway, you played better. How do you develop consistency with only 4 games left?
Yeah, I think we just, there again, like we do every week, man, you talk about the things that could creep up and get us. I mean, we still had a number of mistakes, pre-snap penalties, things of that nature. We had a couple of things were not lined up properly, in tempo, illegal formation, who's on, who's off, stuff that should not be an issue. And so we go after those. That's where you start. The stuff that you have complete control over, your own focus, your own discipline, and you start there. And then we go back to what really helped us win that game. That was the takeaways. We actively went after that football, and not that we don't every week, but we went after it and we got some out, and I do think those things are, it is contagious. One leads to the next, to the next, to the next, and pretty soon everybody's starting to get some punch out. So those were big. We turned them into points.
If you could put your finger on it, why has it been so tough to string back-to-back victories together? Because, we ride the roller coaster, the yo-yos, a big win and then a loss and a win and a loss. Why has it been a challenge maybe to get that consistency so far?
Well, I just think it's there again. You'd love to be able to just put your finger right on it. I don't think it's always that easy. I know this. I just go back to the, we're not playing clean enough football, and some of it there again. We're making these mistakes that we have not traditionally made. That really comes down to like I said, your own discipline. So we clean those up. We keep attacking them. We get some guys to really grow up for us and grow up fast, and then we'll be good.
The benefits and the risks of having the 10 days, Thursday, and then not playing till the following Sunday. With the bye week, and the extra time, the results weren't great the following week. Last year, it was the 10 days, the results weren't great. Is there anything that you're doing to tweak the extra time that you're having in preparation for this game out in LA on Sunday?
No, we're going to attack this like we have most of these. We're going to come in and make sure we get some really good mental work, but get them on the grass for a short period of time. Work our fundamentals, the individual work, and just put together the best game plan we can here to get ready to go face these guys. This is a really good team, man. This is a complete team. They're playing really good football in all three phases over there. So, we got to play better than we did last week. That's for sure. But we're looking forward to this.
Would you say it's the best team you guys have faced this season?
Well, I think you got to put them up there for sure. We've seen some really good teams, but I think these guys are certainly, there's an argument for that to be made. They got guys in every area. They're loaded with talent. They play hard. They're well coached. They don't make mistakes. And they've got really good players in all the critical positions. So it'll be awesome. It really will. This is the cream of the crop right now. So we'll find out where we're at.
We're talking to Lions head coach Dan Campbell. No Brian Branch. I think people would feel a lot better if they knew Kirby Joseph was coming back. What's the last box that he's got to check to get back out on the field?
Well, I think it's, he's got to string a couple of practices together here to where, where he feels good, it looks good, he feels good, he comes in the next day and there's no residual effects from the practice. That's it. Really, we won't know until late in the week. We won't know where this is at. And then we got to, get on the plane and fly West Coast. That's not going to, make things great. But yet, that's part of it. You got to load up and hit high altitude when you got some stuff going on. So, but we'll see. The good news is he's to a point to where we can get him out there and hopefully string some practices together.
Kiera Awosika was a late scratch last week, and then we saw the combination of Tristan Colon and Miles Frazier. Miles Frazier, his first opportunity to get some NFL experience. What's the plan at left guard this weekend, and just your assessment of what you saw from Miles Frazier?
Well, I think the plan is I'd like to play Frazier a little bit again, but I like Colon, there's things that can be cleaned up, but Colon did some good things too. So, Frazier, look, that's good. That was his first start. That was his first significant reps against any NFL player. He didn't play any preseason, no training camp, and he's gotten about, call it 6 practices against Aleem McNeil and Reeder and those guys, and that helps, but that's not NFL Sunday football, snap the whistle. It's not the same thing, going to the ground, finishing plays, that whole thing. So, and he went against some really good players, Kenny Clark and Williams over there for Dallas. So those reps will be invaluable for him, and he's going to have to learn from them. And we believe he will. We believe he'll memory bank those and get a little bit better. So I would like to get him in this game, get him a couple more reps, let him grow. But I see us using Colon, too.
Should we read into that Yode's not going to play this week, then?
Well, I don't know. We'll see where he's at. He's going to try to go out and practice here a little bit, but, until I see him out on the grass, I don't know what that's going to be. That's all.
Dan, we get calls. People want to see more of David Montgomery, soften up the defense, that physical style. At the same time, I don't know how you would take Jahmyr Gibbs off the field or limit his touches. So do you want more money or?
Well, you tell me. What do you want?
Yeah, I want more Gibbs.
We'll do what you want. Who do you want out there?
I want more Gibbs. That's explosive plays, Dan. I'm all about those. I just wonder if that's something you juggle.
Go ahead. Let me hear it. Give me the share load.
Yeah, I'm thinking 65% Gibbs, 35% money.
All right, so then who do we taking away the receptions for and the passes and the targets? Keep going. I love David Montgomery. I love Gibbs. They're both valuable players for us. I wish I could give them both a heavy, heavy load. I wish I could get all of our guys a million touches. The first thing we got to do, we got to convert. We have to convert on third downs or not even get there. First, second down, and reload the down so we get more plays, which enables our playmakers to get the ball in their hand. Because we're better when they're all involved. We're just a better offense. But that requires us converting. We converted early, and then really we stayed out of third down the other day. We only had 8 of them. That's huge. And all those guys stepped up and played big.
Talking about a guy that stepped up and played big, and we heard you talk about it a little bit, but when you're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown, how impactful, not just in terms of the stat sheet and what he provided, but how impactful was that for the team for him to even be able to go with the injury that he was playing with?
Yeah, it's really indescribable, and I think all of our fans know this, and I hope they do. For anybody that doesn't, what Saint is a rarity, man. He's special, and we're fortunate that we have him. The city of Detroit is fortunate to have him. The Detroit Lions. This guy he is unselfish. He is tough as nails. He is smart as a whip. He does anything and everything you ask him to. And if the guy can play, it's as simple as this. If I can go, then I'm going to be able to produce. Otherwise, I can't go. I can't do it for my team. It would be hurting them. But if I can go, I'm going to go. And I don't care what it feels like. I'm going to be able to produce. I don't care if I'm 80%. I'm going to beat the guy across from me. That's his mindset. And I'm going to do it for the guy next to me because I owe it to him. That's how he thinks. And if he can't, he feels awful about it, which he shouldn't feel awful. But he's wired a different way, and he's unselfish. And we got a few of those guys on this team. We got more than just him. But that guy is, he's a heartbeat for us, man. He's unreal.
He's Lions head coach Dan Campbell. Dan, good luck this week. We'll talk next week with you.
Okay, have a good one.
It's 97.1.
Hey.
Okay, before we bring in Dan Campbell's press conference from yesterday, I was just making a few notes here. He talks about mistakes and a lot of self-inflicted, mistakes. It's not usual, not typical for this team. One thing we failed to mention today is, and I think I failed to mention I did mention it last week, the consistent penalties that we're getting on illegal formation. It's 2 or 3 a game.
Mm-hmm.
That has got to stop. And like he said, there's an issue with guys either not being in the game that are supposed to be in the game. They're getting the wrong players in. They're getting the wrong calls in. Whatever it is, you should still be able to look left, look right, ask the ref, hey, am I good? Am I good? And he's either going to say, come up or come back. That's all they have to do. But you should know when you're looking down the line and you're the outside in skipper, typically, when you're on the outside, you have to look back and are you covering up the tackle or are you not? If you're covering up the tackle, get back. Because he's supposed to be freed up. The tackle has to be seen. Now that's primarily for the refs to be able to see if you false start, right? And if you're moving, it's the formation, I think it is what it is, but it's just the way that the NFL has had this set up for years. You have to leave that tackle open. And I'm not going to be able to remember everything. I think that there is a way that you can have certain players covered up and certain players not. It just depends on how many you have on the line. But you can only have, I'll have to look it up. I think you can only have 6 on the line, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't remember the rule. I'll have to look it up.
That play and then the 2 people in motion at the same time. Those 2 just need to be taken. That's coaching to me. That needs to be taken out of the game because we get these illegal formations or 2 men in motion all the time. Easy peasy, clean it up.
When you say 2 players in motion,
yeah.
You can have 2 players moving.
Oh No, you're only allowed to have one in motion at a time.
But you see it all the time. You have two players that will jog to the other side.
Yeah, but at the snap, only one of them is allowed to be in motion.
There you go. That's the key difference. At the snap, one player can only be in motion.
Yes, and we've been flagged almost every game, I think, for two people in motion.
So at least 11 or at least 7 players must be on the line of scrimmage according to the basic rule, which leaves a maximum of 4 players off the line or in the backfield. So you've got Jared Goff, running back, or even a second running back, and then you can have a receiver up on the line. Offensive linemen, you have the core 5, center, 2 guards, 2 tackles. These must be on the line of scrimmage, which means those core 5 cannot be covered. They are ineligible receivers unless you obviously call them eligible on that play. Then that would be your 6th offensive lineman that comes in as the eligible receiver, kind of as a tight end. So the typical legal formation is 7 on the line, 5 offensive linemen, 2 others, whether it's a wide receiver or a tight end, and then 4 in the backfield. You've got your quarterback, running backs, and that 3rd wide receiver or that 3rd tight end. An example would be quarterback under center, running back behind the quarterback, wide receiver split out wide left on the line, eligible, wide receiver split out wide right on the line, eligible, tight end next to the tackle on the line, ineligible if covered. Right? So you're ineligible if covered. So that's like the 6th, it'd be like the 6th offensive lineman. And if you are covered up, then you can't be eligible. So when Skip comes in, if he is eligible and he is on the line or he's in tight formation, he needs to be up on the line. He can't be covered. 5 offensive linemen, all on the line, all ineligible. The common illegal formation mistakes that we're seeing is only 6 are on the line, 1 short. Too many in the backfield, 5 instead of 4. Wide receiver not lined up properly, needs to be on or off the line depending on the play design. And tight ends often covered up by a wide receiver on the same side, making him ineligible but still lined up incorrectly. So there's a lot to deviate from this. There's a lot to break down and go through. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm not as well versed on all of the rules and formations with that. To me, it's keep it simple, stupid. You don't have these mistakes. He was also asked a question, Eric, is this the best team that we're going to face in the Rams? What do you think?
I do. Right now, they are the number 1 in all the power rankings. And they're a hot team. They're a good team. The only thing that stops this Rams team is if Matt Stafford's back gives out on him. That's about the only thing that's going to stop this Rams team. This is a very worrisome game this weekend. The Lions are now 5.5 point underdogs. We started off at 4.5 point underdogs, and it is now moved a full point to 5.5 points because there has been a lot of betting for the Rams. And the Rams now have been bet on, let's see, there's 58% of the bets are now on the Rams and 42% on the Lions. The Lions are plus 200 on the money line, and the over-under for this game is 55.5 points. I do believe this is going to go over.
Okay, so sticking with Dan Campbell's conversation here on 97.1 The Ticket this morning, is this the best team? Yes. I do believe that this defense is extremely scary. They match up well with us. The biggest question, and you know what I believe his name was Costa, was asked about, asking about Gibbs and Monty. How do you get Monty more involved? Now, this is something that you've been adamant about for the season, wanting to see more Monty. Why are we not using more Monty? I've been more adamant about getting Gibbs on the, as a receiver. And there's a couple of things that happened that Dan mentioned, and a couple of things that were in my article about this game, and that was tempo. I wanted to see more tempo. Dan mentioned on our tempo plays we were having issues. So they have to clean that up. But the tempo plays worked. Whenever we were hurrying up to the line or not huddling at all and going with more tempo and trapping the defense on the field, especially when you get them gassed and you have the right playmakers in the game, you have to go tempo. And you have to do it as much as you can, as often as you can, without gassing out your own offensive line. It worked when we didn't have a problem with illegal formation. It worked. So tempo was key. Gibbs, I've been begging to get Gibbs into the slot and get Monty behind the line, because that does two things. It gets you to your point where you want to see more Monty, and a lot of other people want to see more Monty, but it also, gives you the option then that Monty could get the ball, but also getting Gibbs in the pass game was vital last week. And 77 yards on I think it was 7 catches, 77 yards, 11 attempts. Gibbs went off. It was much needed. And I think what that does is that gives you another dynamic in your offense to not have to get into all the third downs. I wanted us to convert at least 2 fourth downs. I'll come back to that in a minute. But here's what he said about Gibbs and Monty. How do we get them all the touches? Right? We have to convert. That's the most important thing. And if you convert, it doesn't matter who's in the game, but who do we start taking pass snaps from, is what Dan mentioned. And if you have Monty in the game, well, then that eliminates another threat out of the backfield or Gibbs out in the slot. And that's why Gibbs has to be on the field. He's not just a running back anymore. He's a threat. He's a weapon. And whether he's in the backfield and then he skirts out into the slot or from the slot back to the backfield, either way, you need that. For me, with the limited amount of offensive linemen that we seem to have that can play at a high level this season due to injury or whatever it's been, and no tight ends, I don't see why David Montgomery and Gibbs wouldn't be on the field more together. It gives you the run pass option. It gives you the Gibbs out of the slot option with Amon-Ra St. Brown a little limited potentially. Hopefully he's feeling great this week. It frees him up a little bit, right? Tesla, he's proven himself. He's not going to get a ton of snaps, but he's proven himself to be a viable weapon and a threat when you need him. He's clutch. He's absolutely clutch. So back to the question. Gibbs or Monty? Costa said 65. What do you say? 65-35? Monty?
Yeah.
Is that what he said? What would you do?
Well, listen, in this last game, David Montgomery had 6 touches on the ground, 6 attempts. Jahmyr Gibbs had 12. David Montgomery had 60 yards, while Jahmyr Gibbs, with twice the touches, had 43. So his average was 3.5, while David Montgomery's was 10. Jahmyr Gibbs' longest of the day was 19, where David Montgomery's longest was a 35-yard touchdown. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs had 3 touchdowns on the ground, and David Montgomery only had 1. So it's kind of baffling that Jahmyr Gibbs on 12 carries had 43 yards and 3 touchdowns, while David Montgomery had half the carries, had 20% more yards, and only 1 touchdown. It's just, it's so weird, the stats, the way they worked out for the rushing attack on this game. And if it was me, I did notice on this game and the Green Bay game that when they put Monty in, the team goes right down the field and scores. And then they take him out. I don't understand how you don't soften up that defense with Monty right in the beginning of the game and use him as the sledgehammer. We have not been doing that this year. You don't see him until halfway through the second quarter or in the third quarter, that or the fourth quarter. That's when you see David Montgomery for one series, and then it's disappear time. So it's, to me, it's baffling that you're not using him more to set up who I consider to be the best running back in the NFL, and use them both out there at the same time more. I really think they need to be on the field at the same time a lot more.
I think so too. Crazy Clown in the chat. I'm not sure what you're talking about this morning. Who's yelling at you?
He's talking about what I was talking about last week.
What's that?
About all these SOL fans that just think the sky is falling and it's doom and gloom all the friggin' time. I'm so tired of it. I am a positive Lions fan. I always think we're going to win. I always think we're going to the Super Bowl. So if you like positivity, stick around this show because I'm that guy.
Well, hold on. I'm the realist. So I'm positive But I'm the realist. It's gonna, we try to both give you the real, the raw, authentic, views of the team and good information. But yeah, it's more positive than anything, and it's because why spend your life being negative? It's like, if you wake up if you wake up on the right side of the bed every single morning and you have a good day, and then there's that day where you wake up on the left side and it just seems like nothing goes right for you in that day, try waking up on the right side of the bed the next time. Because it seems to go better. And that's the same thing for your Lions, right? Some days they're just going to wake up on the left side of the bed and nothing is going to go right. It doesn't matter who's injured, who's not. We've had every player healthy and things have not gone right. Things have really not gone right all season. There's been a huge disconnect with communication, missed opportunities, play calling, you name it, drop passes, bad quarterback play at times. I mean, everything that could happen has happened. But man, when it all clicks and every single one of those cylinders is operating at full potential, man, it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, we try to spend our time being more positive, but don't mistake the fact that we're going to give you the real, the raw, the authentic. Every day.
But we're not here to just do clickbait and talk about how bad one of our players is all day. I'm not doing that. Jumping on somebody just to jump on them. And I won't give you the SOL takes. I'll tell you that. Oh God, so many people.
And look, I get it. And I get that not every fan that has something negative to say, or not every fan that's a little disappointed. Yeah, they're not always SOL. It's just when their takes are likened to what the SOL fan group kind of promotes, where it comes from a collection of creators usually, or writers or journalists or whatever. And that's what all they live on, right? That's all they live on is negativity. It's hilarious, the narcissism that's in this space. It's crazy. So Gibbs, Monty, whatever it is. Third and fourth down conversions. So last week I had mentioned that I wanted the Lions to get 2 fourth down conversions, that if they got a fourth down attempt that they would convert. They didn't need it.
Nope.
They didn't need 1 fourth down conversion in this game. They took the points when they could take the points, or they just didn't need it. 0 fourth down attempts for the Lions against the Cowboys, and only 8 third downs. Eric, there's one thing that I've been saying all year.
Yep.
Get rid of third down so that you don't put yourself in a fourth down situation. And I've also mentioned where, I feel like the Dan Campbell way of calling an offense, or the way that this Lions team has been built the last 5 seasons, is that we are a four down team. And I feel like your play calling is somewhat limited, or maybe even hampered at times, because you're playing to fourth down. And when you're at, third and 6, which is manageable, and instead of going for the completion, it's like, okay, we're at the 45, our 45, we're above the 50, and it's 3rd and 6. We just need to get 4 here, and we're good where we are with the fourth down attempt, and we should be able to complete the fourth down. I love that way of thinking, but I hate that way of thinking at the same time, because I feel like you always should be shooting for first down on every down. Every play should try to get you 10 yards, or at least get you as close to the sticks as possible. It doesn't work that way, because the defense isn't going to give you that all the time. However, I'll go back to what I was saying. I want them to get the ball downfield more on second down. And if you can play to negate third down opportunities, it's going to either get you closer to the sticks to where you have third and manageables more often, or, hey, if you're in a third and long, that's when, and you're north of the 50, that's when I get it. Then you're into four down territory, and you're a 4 down team. So I understand it. I get it. But the Lions did an excellent job against the Cowboys. A quick run through. I got about 10 more minutes, and I got to get out of here.
Okay. There's one thing I wanted to get to, too.
Yep. I just want to run through this real quick. So if you go through the first possession, we went first down, second down, complete, then 3rd and 3, completed for a first down. and then another first down, second down, third down we didn't complete. So we had one complete third down, one conversion on third down, one incomplete or non-converted play on third down. We kicked a field goal. You get into our second, we went 3 and out. Couldn't do anything. That's when David Montgomery came in. It went for 2 yards. And then a pass was incomplete. What is wrong with my brain? Who the hell is S. Williams? Is that the defensive player?
No, that was the running back for Dallas.
No, this is us.
Oh, I don't know.
Who the hell is S. Williams?
Oh, J-Mo would be the only Williams we have.
Maybe S. Williams made the tackle, but it says Jared Goff pass, incomplete, short, middle, and it doesn't say who it went to. That's
Probably
weird.
J-Mo.
Okay, because then the next one says Jared Goff pass, incomplete, short right to Amon-Ra St. Brown. So either way, we went 3 and out. 1, 2, 3, punt the ball. Jack Fox, amazing game again. Third possession, 6 plays, 42 yards. We go shotgun first play, 1st and 10. We get 4 yards. 2nd and 6, we go shotgun. We get it downfield to Fursker for 7 yards. So we negated the third down. We get into another first down. We get another first down. The penalty, the illegal shift on Detroit backed us up 5 yards. It was enforced. We go to first down again. We only go for 2 yards. It was a short little pass to Gibbs. See that first down, 1st and 15. Why are we throwing this little short stuff? That ball's got to go downfield. It has to on first down. Now, I'm not complaining, but that's where I feel like there's an opportunity missed. That, okay, it's 1st and 15. They see what you've been doing all year, and all year you've just been trying to chunk it up to be able to have a shorter second down and even shorter and manageable third down. Go deep. Go 12 yards. Go 17 yards. Get J-Mo on a crosser, right? Do something. But anyway, we get into second down. It's 2nd and 13. It's completed from to Amon-Ra St. Brown for 26 yards. Big play. Go to first down, and we go to second down run touchdown by Jahmyr Gibbs. In our fourth, we go 3 and out. Not even going to discuss it. In our fifth, we go 4 and out. But it was a 35-yard touchdown run to David Montgomery. One of the best plays I've seen. I didn't see who won the award this week by Kyle Brandt. I'm interested to see who won. In our 5th or 6th possession, we go 6 plays, ends up in a field goal. But when you look at how we manage this, we go first down. Our first play was to St. Brown for 4 yards. Second play was a short pass to Gibbs for 18 yards. So we get into a first down again. So we go first, second down, incomplete pass short right. Third down, 3rd and 1, we pass. That's interesting, right? Because normally we'd run that football. But it was a penalty on Dallas for pass interference, gave us a first down. So I'm loving that. See, on third down.
Our second one of the season.
Yeah. In like as many weeks too. So, or maybe the same game. First down, that 3rd and 1 pass, what you're doing there is you're confusing the defense because they're like, this team always runs on 3rd and short. So now you've put them in a position that they're going to scramble a little bit, cause the penalty as long as it gets called. Like, we don't try to get the penalties. There's teams that are trained to try to make penalties happen. We receivers do that all the time where they try to force the issue. Throwing the ball on 3rd and short can give you those two things more often, which is a penalty that can help you convert, or you're catching a defense with their pants down and you can either get a big completion, a touchdown, or at least convert. So first down off the penalty, deep right to Tesla, completed. Doesn't tell me how many yards. And then we get a field goal at the end of the second quarter. I get it. It's only 4 seconds left on the clock. All right, so we get into the second half. We go 2 plays, 14 yards, touchdown pass, 12 yards. That was the interception that Lions capitalized on. Huge. So third quarter, right off the bat, that interception helped us. And then we get a missed field goal with our second possession. We march all the way down the field to the Dallas 34, and the field goal was blocked. I don't know what's going on with Bates, but his trajectory is got to get fixed. And we need to do something. We're allowing way too many block kicks. Mm-hmm. Way too many. But anyway, you go first down. Gibbs goes off the left end for -5. Then we go to short pass to JMO for 7. And now it's 3rd and 8. That's not manageable. And we do a short pass to Gibbs for 10. We complete. So our 3rd down, we complete, convert. We go to a 1-yard run on 1st down. That is probably not what, Cunningham, why is he even in the game?
That was a weird play. I really wanted to talk about that play for a second. So Cunningham, off of the practice squad, he's a wide receiver. He lines up in the wildcat while Jared Goff goes out wide as a wide receiver. And he takes the ball, runs to the left, and only gets like a yard. And that play just, I don't know if that was supposed to be a throw to someone else, but they weren't open. But that was really, really strange that you're doing a trick play with a guy off the practice squad that none of us had ever seen before.
Well, I do like Malik Cunningham. I forgot all about him, but you remember we picked him up before the Ravens game?
Okay.
And he gave us...
Oh, yeah, he's the
Lamar. He's the Lamar.
The mini Lamar.
Yeah, the mini Lamar, whatever you want to call him. So we picked him up back then. So he's a former quarterback. And so when he was in the game, I'm like, what are we doing here? Are we about to, is he going to throw the football? Is there something wrong with Goff that we didn't see? Because he just came in the game. Goff was out of the game.
No, Goff was out there. He was lined up wide.
He was?
Yep, he was on the right side.
I didn't see him anywhere.
Yep, he was out there.
Well, that's even more interesting.
Because I just rewatched the game, and I that play I rewound it like 4 times.
Hold on, where was that? So that was 1st and 10 at the 44, 8:36 in the 3rd.
Yeah, that was a crazy play. It blew my mind. I'm like, what is going on? Why is number 80 out there at quarterback?
I did not see Goff in this game.
Yeah, could have swore he was out to the right. Just outside the tight end spot.
Where is the Lions game? Why is it? Oh, it would help if I was on week 14. Like, where's the Lions game? Okay, so that was 8:36 in the 3rd, right? Is that where we're at? We are in the 3rd quarter. And this play, direct snap, 8:36 in the 3rd. I forgot I got to go get my truck.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully they're done with it. I needed them to do a couple of things. Okay, so, yeah, you're damn right. There he is.
Told you.
But he didn't even try to run it. Like he didn't.
No,
like
he just stood there.
Well, he jogged. But they gave him no attention whatsoever.
No.
They played 10 yards off. Fake snap. Terrible blocking downfield. That was not a good play. That was not a good play at all.
No, not at all.
Okay, so the second play right after that, 2nd and 9, 16-yard pass to Williams, so we complete. On 2nd down again, 1st down, short left for 1 yard, and then we go Jared Goff pass to Gibbs for 4 yards. So in another 3rd down, 3rd and 5, 3rd and manageable, incomplete, blocked field goal. I'll spare you the rest, but the point that I'm trying to make here is whenever you can negate 3rd down, man, you're winning. You try to get rid of 3rd down as much as you can. Defenses can pick up on that, but if you're mixing it up, pass, run, play, pass on 2nd down, and you really got them confused a little bit, and especially on the 3rd downs when it's 3rd and short and you go to a pass versus a run, that really confused the Cowboys defense. It caused the pass interference penalty. That type of stuff is where I need and hope as a fan that Dan Campbell is recognizing these things and saying these are working and we need to continue to do this. Last bit of the notes on here. Hey, let me get out of this screen. I'm not going to be able to get Dan Campbell in here. I'll have to do it later on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to run out of time.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I really had on his notes. Other than Frazier, the biggest one, Cologne and Frazier. What's the plan at left guard? He says that he would like to play Frazier, but he likes Cologne. So it sounds like Cologne's going to get the start. And when you're going up against this defense, you obviously want experience. It makes sense to have experience, but do not think for one moment that if Cologne is having any sort of an issue, that Frazier won't be in there right away. and at least see what he can do. And that's kind of what I was saying before. I didn't obviously watch or hear this, but that's what I was saying before, that it'll give you a different look against this Rams defense. So at left guard, where Jared Verse is on the right side of the defense quite a bit, and he will line up over the guard, I think that this gives you an opportunity to help Taylor Decker as much as possible with a bigger body and some fresh legs, some bigger strength. Frazier's a big dude, and he's a strong dude. I think he's bigger than Cologne. But anyway, go ahead. You had something else you wanted to get to.
All right. So I just wanted to get to my 5 bold takes from last Wednesday. All right. Coming in at number 1, I said that Isaac Tesla would have his best game as a pro with 5 catches for 60 yards and a 17-yard touchdown. Well, I was kind of close. Okay. Isaac Tesla caught 2 receptions, but he had more targets. He had a couple targets he just could not pull in bounds. And he had 20 yards with a long of 12, and that was for a touchdown. So I was pretty close. I got the touchdown right, and it was his best game as a pro. And now, number 2, I said Goff will have his most passing yards in a game this season and will not take a sack, even with 4 of 5 of the Detroit Lions offensive linemen on the injury report. Well, Goff did take 1 sack, and he had 309 yards. He did go over 300 is what I was kind of talking about that day. And then number 3, now I got half of this right, and I got half of it wrong. I said Tom Kennedy would score a touchdown, and J-Mo would not have a touchdown. J-Mo did not get a touchdown. Neither did Tom Kennedy. And then I said the Lions defense or special teams will score a touchdown. Man, was I close on Derek Barnes' interception, but the guy just wasn't fast enough to get all the way there. And now number 5, I called this. There will be a trick play thrown to Dan Skipper. And there was a trick play thrown to Dan Skipper, but it hit him in the knees, and yeah,
that wasn't a trick play, but it was a last ditch effort that Goff was trying to get the ball out because there was a penalty or something something happened. He was just trying to get I remember he was trying to get the ball out there.
Yeah, and then Skipper will report on every offensive play. Golly. He basically did, and then my prediction was a high-flying, high-scoring game. And I said, with not many sacks on either side, but our side got a ton of sacks. And I said there'd be some bombs from the QBs, and there was. And the Lions would win in a thriller, 45-41. Well, the final score ended up being 44. I was off by 1, and then to 30, off by 11. But pretty darn close on those. That's the best I've done on my 5 bold takes all year long.
So I did something. I mean, I did some bold takes. I don't remember all of them. Yeah. But I did more of like reasons why the Lions could win or why the Cowboys could win. And if I go and revisit some of the reasons why the Lions could beat the Cowboys, I said the elite rushing attack, obviously 3 touchdowns. But Gibbs and Montgomery, they thrive in those gap schemes. They used it perfectly last week. It was a big weakness for Dallas, so they were able to do that. That's a win. Jared Goff's accuracy, 69.8% adjusted completion rate, capable of exploiting Dallas's 30th ranked pass defense. That's a win. Home field advantage, that's not really a bold take, but clearly it helped. We did get a false start, I believe, a couple of times against the Cowboys, at least one, but there was a couple of times. I expected Aiden Hutchinson to do something. Well, I expected the pass rush to do something, really. In Aiden Hutchinson's pass rush, I thought there would be some potential to disrupt Dak Prescott this week or last week, and there was, to the tune of AQM doing his damn thing. And then opportunistic defense. League leading man coverage rate, capable of forcing turnovers. We got a couple of turnovers. Should have been 3, ended up with 2. So there's that. And then if I go into my keys, it was 2 backs all game. Didn't do it. I didn't even see it once. Stay away from the inside zone and duo. I didn't want to see him run it, Williams and Kenny Clark. They did and they didn't. But they used some inside duo quite a bit. Tempo offense was one of my bigger calls there, or bold takes. And we did run some tempo quite a bit. And clearly Dan Campbell affirmed that. Utilized running backs in the passing game. This is where I thought Gibbs was going to have a big game. The Cowboys allowed the 5th most running back receptions and 3rd most receiving yards to running backs. Angle routes and flats to Gibbs and Montgomery can be very effective. Clearly 7 for 77. And then play action, using the threat of the run to set up the play pass. Jared Goff looked cleaner downfield. to counter the Cowboys' strong defensive line. So all of those were bigger keys. Some of the defensive strategy keys were simulating pressures, mix up the coverages, spying Javonte Williams, which they did on a few plays. I don't know if they're going to admit to it. Bracketing Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, it happened, and then it didn't happen. Every time we went to single man, we got crushed. Pressuring Dak Prescott was a key. In closing last week, I said that this game is a study in contrast, that the Lions must lean on their rushing attack, Jared Goff's precision, and Aiden Hutchinson must show up and prove he has disruptive ability to overcome injuries and control tempo in this game were keys to me last week. The path to victory, it really lied in grinding out drives, forcing turnovers, and keeping Prescott off balance, and that's what the Lions did. Interesting game.
Yeah.
Last week.
And looking
good game.
Looking at your 5 bold takes, you got one of them absolutely correct.
I had one that I thought that
Amon-Ra St. Brown posts 9 catches, becoming the focal point in third down conversions. That's exactly what happened. He had 9 catches on the day.
What about the I had Gibbs going for 125 all day, all purpose. He went for 120.
150. Yeah, you said 150. No, you said Jahmyr Gibbs breaks 150.
I think you're looking at the old ones.
Rushing and receiving. No, I'm looking at this one.
From last week?
This is New York. Yeah, I'm looking at you didn't update it on the bottom.
Yeah.
Where we put the 5 bold takes.
I didn't. Yeah, there's a couple of them in there. Yeah, I definitely didn't get Amon-Ra. But I did get that one right in that game.
Yeah.
I did get that one right in that game. No, obviously they're in the video. I didn't clip it. I'm terrible. I didn't clip either of them. But that's it for today. Great show again, Eric, as usual.
Yeah.
Back tomorrow, and I need to get out of here. I'm so late.
Uh-oh.
I am so late.
All right, we'll see you guys.
So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Anything, your final 30 of the day?
Great game. Man, was this a fun game to watch. It was fun to be there. The Lions had the lead from the very beginning of the game. They never gave it up. I did do a good, bad, and ugly for the day. My good was we put up 44 points. You know, the bad, the Lions gave up 30 points. And then the ugly was Brian Branch's Achilles and the refs. So that was my good, the bad, and the ugly for the game on Thursday.
I hope you all have a wonderful day. It's Tuesday. We'll be flipping the page here in a couple of days, but please do us a favor. Don't forget that your chat messages are wonderful, but they don't help us in the comments. If you could please go to the comments section when we're done. I don't care if you just post a hashtag, Go Lions, beat the Rams, F the Packers. I don't care what it is. Drop something in the comments. It really helps us. And then if you could share it with a friend and say, hey, have you checked out these guys yet? Share the whole thing with them and say, man, there's some good stuff in here. You should take a listen. And I know it's long, but take a listen. You'll find some good stuff in there. Eventually, I'll get back to doing chapters. YouTube's supposed to do it automatically. I don't know why they don't. It's a pain in the ass. But anyway, hope you all have a wonderful day. Please don't forget to leave comments and show up tomorrow. Okay? We'll be back tomorrow. We should be on time tomorrow. I really struggled getting out of bed today, man. I can barely walk. So let me go grab my old man cane and get after it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down.